47% of Americans do. It's like, yeah, 47% of Americans that take your fucking poll do that.
Yeah.
What kind of person answers their phone and is like, yeah, I'd love to take your poll? Like, it's... Hello, Jasons and Melissas, and welcome back to the fourth and final season of Rewatching Home Movies, a weekly watch-along podcast where three friends break down the 1999 animated series Home Movies. My name is Tim, and I'm obsessed with home movies.
My name's Adele, and I'm a home movies newbie.
My name's Marcin, and I've never seen home movies.
Home Movies Season 4, Episode 13, titled Focus Grill. Original air date April 4th, 2004 on Adult Swim, written by Brendan Small, Bill Broaddus, and cast, directed by Lauren Bouchard, and produced by Jack Ferriolo. Synopsis for this episode: Brendan, Jason, and Melissa find their first unfinished film and test new endings on their focus group. Meanwhile, Coach attempts to assemble a grill.
I remember asking you what the title was for this episode because I hadn't watched it, and you said no, because it was going to give everything away.
I did. Hold on. I would like to set the record straight. I didn't say it would give everything away. I said it's basically two parts of the main two storylines.
Okay.
If I told you before we watched this episode, Focus Grill, you'd have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But now that we've seen the episode, it makes a little more sense. I didn't want to put anything into your head before we went into this episode.
Yeah,
That's
because
fair.
then you see the grill and you're like, man, that grill looks focused.
It is focused. They are focusing on that grill. So, yeah, gang, this is it. This is the series finale.
Yeah.
Woof.
Oh my God, we just came off the back of it. So if you're listening to this, go watch the reactions, because I didn't think there was going to be a need for reactions, but
Yeah. I'm glad we did it.
yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And like most things that require a reaction, it's like the last 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to get into that. We're going to get into so much more. But first, we're going to get into this, the last Rewatching Home Movies Creative Corner. So guys, you're in for a treat. We have such a special guest bringing us in. So please bring us in, Bob. Creative Corner, doodly-doo.
Bob's back.
Bob.
Bob.
You know, right before we got rid of Bob, I'm like, I don't know, it's getting kind of old, I think. And then season 4 happened, and I'm like, where the fuck is Bob?
The guy pushing the Nosferatu button.
Wait, what?
I saw him reach for the mixer, and I was like, here we come. And I knew it
Before
was a
we
bit.
started recording, Marcin's like, is Nosferatu bringing in the last creative? I'm like, don't, shut up, don't talk. Like, I wish Bob Dylan went. I'm like, shut up. Stop talking. So yeah, this is it, guys. This is the last Creative Corner of Rewatching Home Movies. Who wants to go first, or shall I? Okay, I will.
Yeah.
Well, gang, a Creative Corner is traditionally something, I say it every time, we're consuming or producing that we want to bring to light. And I would say for the last year and a half, this is definitely something I have been producing, something I've definitely been consuming, and it is a little podcast called Rewatching Home Movies. We got to chat about it a little bit. We did like an intro for this episode because this episode is going to be different in a lot of ways. We're going to play the entire, like us watching the episode. We did an intro before this, and you guys both mentioned you're very proud of us and the project. And I think however much you guys feel that, I feel it like times 100.
Mm-hmm.
A little peek behind the curtain. Last week, we recorded with Craig, my brother, as an in-studio guest. And he had no problem saying, brother, I've known you my whole life. I know how you are. You get excited about projects, and then you kind of drop them after a little while. Not me looking at my closet with my drone and my all my other hobbies I've had.
Oh, that drone came in handy.
Yeah. But this is a project that I'm so proud of us. I think I would have been just as proud of us if we put this out and had 8 listens total throughout the entire series. Just the way we stuck to it and we kept going. And I'm not going to sit here and deny that I, on my own free will, took on a majority of the work for this podcast. I'm okay saying that, but I've also said so many times, this podcast wouldn't be what it is without you guys. If this podcast was just my brother and I talking about how much we love home movies, it wouldn't be the same. The fact that I got to bring 2 people in that I genuinely care about and introduce a show that I genuinely care about to them has just, I don't know, the term passion project kind of, I think, really, really describes it because it genuinely has been a passion project.
Yeah.
And couple that with now the fact that I've had the opportunity to talk to so many people who worked on the show. Trust me, when I went to break down this last episode of the series, I messaged basically anyone who had talked to me about the show. Because, I mean, this was like an all hands on deck episode. Like they kind of brought everybody in for a little bit. So it was also a very good opportunity for me to thank personally people like David St. Angelo and Steve Rogan, Phil Andrews, everybody who's been throwing me a lot of information. Alan Foreman has been huge with stuff for this episode as well. So
excited to hear that.
Yeah. Hey, it's been so much work. It's been so much work. I'm not going to lie. Adele can attest. It's been so much work, but it's genuinely it's been worth every second of it. It is, like Adele said, it's a time capsule. It's something that we can just put out there and let it live forever. And hey, maybe it finds a big audience. Maybe it doesn't. Who cares? We did it. It's out there. And I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Being a part of something where it's like multiple people putting in the effort, and then it's not like one of those group projects where you're carrying, like you did carry most of the work, but it's like we all put effort and we made this a priority because like we cared about making something together.
Yeah.
And like this episode says, it's like, it's about the process. It's doing it.
This episode of Home Movies hit home in so many different ways. To have this be the last episode and have a podcast around the show feels very surreal and meta, but very relatable. And I just want to not only thank you two and then everyone I've talked to who has worked on the show, but literally every single person who has emailed, who's requested stickers. People have sent me messages on Facebook. I mean, every single person that even takes 30 seconds out of their day to say, hey, I found your podcast, or I stumbled upon you when I Googled Home Movies Timmy, and I really like it. I don't think people ever understand that reach out, that thanks for what you do, that you guys helped me get through my Monday. Like, that means so much to us. And it's really helped us. Well, it's definitely helped me personally, like kind of push through on those times. Because I mean, yeah, there have been times where, life is happening and I'm down in the dumps and it's like, well, I still got to drop an episode on Monday. That doesn't change.
It's very grounding.
Yeah.
It keeps you from flying away when there's a whole bunch of wind blowing right now. And it's been a necessary thing for me.
And we said it in the intro, but the timing of the podcast in correlation with world events has been very interesting. So I think it will be a very unique time capsule to, sit out there. And in the grand scheme of things, this podcast, I crunched the numbers, and guys, I made a pretty decent amount of money off this podcast. I made negative $200, I think, after all the stickers and hosting and all that. And it was worth every penny.
Yeah.
I love that people reach out to us for stickers. I will try to keep that going long after the podcast. If I get a message in like years from now that's like, hey, I found your podcast, could I have stickers? I'm going to be like, hell yeah, dude.
You looking into the closet at I don't know which one's funnier, like a big pile of stickers still, or just like the one single sticker left?
The last sticker.
Man, I do want to say from my perspective, it's been really great seeing my future husband just doing something that is so passionate and including me, which I really appreciate as well. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch you do your thing and to follow through and to finish. I'm just genuinely so proud of you and how much effort you put into it. And in the same breath, it's given us an excuse to hang out like all the time. And like, I mean, Marcin and I have been friends for quite some time, and we haven't been able to hang out like this since before the pandemic. And I think this podcast has really, really helped in that, just like being able to hang out as people and as friends. And this podcast, I mean, I know I don't talk as much as you guys, but it means the world to me.
Yeah. And I think having it as an excuse for us to hang out was kind of reason number one why I know like this isn't going anywhere. Whether we continue in a podcast format or a YouTube format or whatever format, it's going to happen because I fucking love you guys and I love hanging out with you. And that's never, ever going to stop. That is my creative corner.
It's a great creative corner.
It's a very good creative corner. And I think it actually segues pretty well into my creative corner because this episode really did hit home in a lot of different ways of things that I've been feeling a lot. And I think a lot of us do as artists, having projects where you don't know how to end it, or projects that don't have an ending, or dealing with that and talking about how the process is so important. I had a podcast before Puzzle Valley that I put so much effort into from like 2016 all the way until 2022. Honestly, if I put like editing time all together, I put like a year, like just not eyeballing it, like a year's worth of me just sitting at a desk, like making sure that this thing works and voice acting and putting everything together. And it wasn't Puzzle Valley, and Puzzle Valley means a lot to me, and it's something I'm still doing, but something that meant a lot more to me because of how it helped me start was Eldritch Journeys. And Eldritch Journeys is a D&D podcast that was highly inspired by The Adventure Zone, which is one of the podcasts me and Tim, when we first met, started talking about. And that was how our friendship started.
That's how Marcin knew.
Yeah, I was like,
wait,
this is the thing I can talk about with a stranger.
I remember when these two met and they started talking about podcasts, I had the biggest shit-eating grin on my face. And Marcin just goes, don't.
It's so hard when you're like, you have a podcast or you like podcasts a lot, and it's a very niche thing because everyone has their podcast, and it's very hard when like they like come together. But I started a D&D podcast with my college friends, and then after the first arc, I integrated my family, my brother, my cousin Ed, my cousin BJ, and my cousin Weston, and we spent years putting this story together, and I put a lot of effort into it, a lot of original music that I sunk so much time writing the story and going on for it and just like making some really good. I was very proud of the later episodes of it, but some life stuff happened and we couldn't make it work all of the time. We couldn't make it. We couldn't have the weekly schedule we wanted to have of the weekly record, and it broke my heart. It really did break my heart when we couldn't do it anymore. And in the back of my head, I want to like revisit it and to give it an ending that it deserves, because I put a lot of work into it, and it helped me grow as a person, and it helped me grow as a creative. It helped me be able to experiment with audio and be able to learn how to edit properly and to, everything in Puzzle Valley. I learned a lot from Eldritch Journeys. Honestly, I was like, what am I going to do with all these episodes? And I unlisted them for a long time. I privated them. But I'm putting them all onto a YouTube channel, and by the time this is out, I'm hoping that I have put all of the existing episodes on there, because I got like so much great art for it. So much great art, so much great music. And one of my favorite things about it, take everything else away that is me from the podcast. My favorite thing about it is that my cousin Ed is the funniest fucking dude on the planet.
He's very funny.
And he carried that show. He carried it, man. There are so many times where I can just jump into an episode and he's immediately making me laugh. And he's just, Eddie is like the the one secret I want to show to the world, but I can't because he just doesn't like want to be that type of person. He's scared of Twitter people, of being known, of being seen. Being in Eldritch Journeys, that was me kind of showing off like, oh yeah, this guy's amazing. And he's so fucking funny and he's really good at just talking and all of these great things. And I don't want that to go away. I would like that to be somewhere to like, even if it doesn't have an ending, it was great while it lasted. We had so much fun. If I took all of the laughter that we had in those episodes, I don't know, man, it was such a great time. And Jens, who made our season 3 art.
Season 3 logo.
Oh, dude, I wish you guys could see all the other concept. He gave us like 6 concept, or it was 3 or 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were all amazing. And Jens always makes amazing art. And Jens was like my only fan for a long time. He was my first and only fan who would listen to every single episode.
Jens is good people.
Oh, he's so good. And that actually, I brought a prop, which is one of the things that Jens put a lot of work into. And it's one of the reasons I don't want it to just go away is because Jens put a lot of work into it. He made this huge art piece for Eldritch Journeys and he put a lot of effort into it. And it's this giant piece of art and there's so many details from each arc of the podcast. He listened through every single episode and found so many things to put in these. If you look as close as you can, there's details from each episode and each arc.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? You know the Roku screensaver when there's all those little nuggets in there?
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of little Roku screensavers in each one, and I fucking love it.
Yeah. That is easily worth over like $500 for that type of art. And he charged me very low
Jesus
because
Christ.
He's just an amazing artist. He's an even better human being. I love Jens, and for that reason, I don't want the show to just
to Tim so we can look at it.
I don't want the show to just go away because I had people who believed in me. I had Jens, and I had Ed, and I had BJ, and I had just an amazing time learning how to DM and learning how to speak. I was really bad at speaking before I had to learn how to edit my own voice and be like, oh, that doesn't sound right. And then now I have a constant radio voice. But it just helped me so much. And I owe so much to the show and the people that were on that journey, pun intended, with me. So if anyone likes D&D podcasts and you want to see or listen to some of the times that we had and some of the great, very funny moments, I'm putting it all on the Eldritch Journeys YouTube channel. And who knows, if you guys like it a lot, or if you annoy the other cast members enough, they'll come back and we'll try to make it have an ending that it deserves.
Hey, that's honestly great creative corner for this last episode, I must say, because it's about, endings and finishing endings.
The process, all of that. We did a scene for Season of the Curse 2, and there's a bit of art that I put on the door, and it's Frisk, the god of risk. And Adele's like, why is that shark sexy? And that's
I did say that.
He's Frisk, the god of risk from Eldritch Journeys, but
Who played him?
Me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I played everyone else then. Oh, shit. I paid to have a trailer animated. So, like, there is a trailer for it, like a visual trailer. And it's one of, like, the coolest shit I ever did. So I'll put that in the link for the show notes.
Hell yeah.
Maybe people might like that.
Nice.
But
Love it. Great creative corners, guys. Solid. And then there's me. But I have a great creative corner, too.
Yeah, you do.
Obviously. So my creative corner is actually a song. Because I love music, I wanted to end it on a music note, no pun intended. And I thought, what's my last creative corner going to be? Like, this is the last thing I can put out there for people to consume. The last thing, level with me, guys. If you have never looked into any of my creative corners, that's fine. I won't be hurt. I'm fine. It's fine.
I'll be hurt.
But if I just implore everyone to listen to this song just once. It's just a short 8-minute song. It'll go by in a breeze. And the song is called Oh, Superman. It's the letter O and then Superman.
Is that by Eminem?
No. It was actually came out in 1981 and it was made by a musician slash like performance artist named Laurie Anderson. And she produced it in America, but it did not pop off in America, obviously, for the subject matter of the song. But it actually popped off in the UK. And so it really took off over there. And I really don't want to give much of the song away because it's such a deeply unsettling song. But at the same time, like, everyone needs to fucking listen to this song. And I don't want to give anything away, but it might be a little bit about American imperialism. So I just want everybody to, like, you know, just turn the lights down low, put on some headphones, and listen to the song once. And I'll never ask you guys to do anything else ever again. Please and thank you. And that's my creative corner.
Thank you for your attention to this matter.
Do you have a lyric that you can throw at me?
It's very kind of... So the lyrics, I don't want to. I'm so sorry, but because the lyrics that you want to tell are the ones that like hit the hardest.
Okay, so you want it to like actually hit.
The song actually did blow up on TikTok for a short period of time, and it's the, well, you don't know me, but I know you.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah. So, yeah, go fucking listen to that song. It's very good, very chilling, but also like a little bit of a bop too.
Yeah.
So
we'll listen to it after the pod.
It's only 8 minutes. Come on. You got 8 minutes.
You don't have 8 minutes.
You don't have 8 minutes to listen to it and then have an existential crisis afterwards?
You don't have 10 minutes.
Come on.
I mean, you're going to be listening to music for longer after that. What do you want to just go to the next song? Just give it 8 minutes.
Yeah, come on. Do me a favor, guys. Just listen to it. And if you don't like the song, don't tell me. That's my creative corner.
Nice.
Come on, shake my hand.
Are you afraid to shake a poor sinner's hand? Yes.
Are you ready?
Well, you guys ready to break down this
No.
series finale?
Yeah.
Man, this
isn't
crazy.
the UK. I said that on purpose. This is the series finale.
Let's go watch Clarence.
It seems like just yesterday I was like, whole movies started on UPN.
I think we did. I re-listened to the first episode. I think we did a really good job for our first episode.
Too.
I was worried about that. Like, the first episodes are always rough. I was high at the time, and
Same.
that was well, that was the first time I was like, I'm not going to record a podcast high anymore because I just talked about like Vince McMahon shit, and then you're like, that's getting cut out. But we did a really good job in the start.
Yes.
In the start.
What happened?
Hey.
I'm just kidding. That was a joke. I'm so
I know.
sorry.
Made me laugh.
Thank you.
No, I've revisited early episodes and I have been kind of impressed where I'm like, we are very consistent. The format has been consistent. Everything has been consistent. It's probably just the audio quality that pops up and down here and there.
I mean, that's any podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do remember when we first kind of started out, and one of the first times I kind of advertised us on like the Home Movies Brendan posting, and somebody's like, yeah, it sounds kind of amateur. I'm like, what show are we talking about?
They didn't get professionals for this?
No, that's what pisses me off about anything that's like content that's not on television. It's all amateur. That's what it's supposed to be. YouTube was supposed to be homegrown content. And now the fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson is on there. Fuck that. Fuck that shit. I'd rather have someone with a webcam mic than someone who's sitting there with a $5,000 mic. All right, I'm going to sit down.
Pop off.
Let's sit the fuck down.
He was sitting the whole time, folks.
Oh, gang. Well, this final episode opens, and we're inside of a movie. This movie, Brendan and Melissa seem to be spies, making an arrangement for an exchange, the diamonds for the film. In the background, we definitely see kids playing soccer, and that's when we hear Coach McGurk yell Brendan and Melissa to get in the game. Melissa tells Brendan he was supposed to come alone, but you brought soccer, coach? And Brendan assures her he must have followed him there. That's when he hopes a paperboy doesn't show up. And that's when Jason pops in frame as the paperboy saying, extra, extra, read all about it. Secret spy exchange going down at children's soccer game.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is this the first time Jason has been at a soccer game?
I think so.
That's an inch. I wouldn't even been able to think that.
Yeah.
Because it was a weird setting for Jason to be in.
It was. When he picked up the soccer ball, I'm like, we don't see that very
This
normally.
is strange.
I was going to say, like that type of guerrilla filmmaking style where you're out in public and just kind of filming.
Mm-hmm.
There's a TV show on Vice that they made the episode around the interactions they had in public with like actual strangers. I forget what it was, but like, it's not a bad idea. I mean, that's kind of experimental.
Yeah.
I mean, it keeps the budget down.
Yeah. They're trying something new.
Well, I do like it because Melissa says she'll take a copy. Jason informs her, enjoy reading about your own death.
Damn.
Brendan and Melissa seem confused, and that's when Jason picks up the soccer ball and runs away, saying, you'll never catch me. The diamonds were inside of the ball. As he runs away, he knocks over the camera, and it falls and lands focus on Coach McGurk, who tells Brendan, what did I tell you about making movies during soccer games? To which Brendan clarifies, you told me no making movies during away games.
That's a good compromise.
I think so.
Yeah. Also, what's on the back of this newspaper here? It looks like a dollar bill?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Maybe it's supposed to be an article. Maybe it's an actual newspaper they just drew over.
Ah, that's fair. Okay. Yeah, I just couldn't see any of like the actual text on it, so.
Well, that's when we pull back to reveal that the movie is being watched by a focus group, which consists of Fenton, Junior Adelberg, along with Walter and Perry.
When they had Jason running away with the soccer ball, it was the same animation that they used for the Tommy music video.
The Timmy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Timmy, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Timmy.
No, it's okay.
There's an actual Tommy.
We're going to get flamed in the comments, guys.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just... No. That is my worst nightmare, is a focus group.
Yeah.
Anyone criticize... Because I welcome criticism. A lot of criticism I've gotten has made me better, but... criticism with Fenton there.
I mean, they were kind of asking for it when they invited him.
Yeah.
Low key.
That's what invite Fenton.
Destroy all movies.
Like Walter and Perry, what are they going to bring to the table? Junior Adelberg, what are you going to say to this?
Save some for me.
I wish. I fucking wish. Fenton actually had some pretty good criticism. He's just such a dick about it.
Yeah.
Correct. It takes a special kind of person or personality to want to be in a focus group, to think that your opinion matters so much that you need to be part. That's why I think focus groups are a little tainted, as it were, because it's like when you hear it's like, oh, this poll that 47% of Americans do. It's like, yeah, 47% of Americans that take your fucking poll do that.
Yeah.
What kind of person answers their phone and is like, yeah, I'd love to take your poll? Like, it's...
Sorry.
Get them out while you can, guys.
I'd love to take your poll.
I'd love to take your poll, sir.
But no, you're right. You're right. Like, it's the same thing with when we talked about when David was on, where a critic is just, they have to criticize. They have to make their job feel important. So they have to bring it down just to make it seem like they know what they're talking about.
Yeah. So, well, the focus group seems very confused about what the movie was, with Fenton even saying, what kind of comment are they supposed to give? Brendan gives them comment cards and a pencil and tells them to be as honest as they could possibly be, to which Fenton replies, are you serious?
Big mistake.
I hated that because when he said that, I was like, oh shit, he made me laugh. Oh no.
Yep.
Comments.
COMMINTS.
Man.
When Brendan confirms, yes, be as honest as you can, Fenton gives him a like, okay.
Say less, King.
The next scene
Oh, the imagery.
opens.
Oh, right.
The imagery.
With a murder.
That
The
really
victim,
broke me.
Yeah. Was that the only gnome in the whole
only
episode?
gnome in the episode.
And it gets squashed.
He's slowly nodding.
They're really
I
coming for the jugular.
We'll say this again. I reached out to a lot of the animators and people who worked on the show, and I did get some very good insight to a lot of stuff that was happening in this episode. I will say this now. One animator wanted to put one last gnome in the woods in the final scene.
Why didn't they?
He said he doesn't remember, must have got voted down.
Oh, it would have been but like an actual gnome, but like an actual like living
One that
gnome.
like hides
just like
behind
peeks
it.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see him for one frame and then he hides behind a tree.
Yeah.
What if it was Brendan's gnome, but like his eyes open and he walks away?
Yeah.
Yep. God damn it.
They probably just wanted to squash the gnome immediately. And they're like, no, we don't want any more gnomes in the shot.
But we do.
Very unceremoniously murdered the gnome with the box from the grill.
Harsh.
But seriously, the scene opens. Coach is pushing the box for the grill over. It lands directly on top of a gnome. Paula, seemingly concerned, asks if the grill is too big, and Coach tells her it's not that big, and he got the good one. Paula points out they're not a very big family, and the grill might be too big, and Coach goes on to say that the grill is something you only buy once in a lifetime. Maybe twice, maybe even 3 times.
I mean, I kind of believed him. I've never had someone buy a grill twice in my life. Did your family ever have a grill?
My dad's gone through a few
Yeah,
grills.
I was going to
Really?
say, I know we've upgraded some grills here and there.
It's just a tank or charcoal, whatever.
I think it was like, oh, this is a newer, better, fancier
Right. And
model.
as a matter of fact, I think my brother,
Hey.
former
Boomers.
guest, just upgraded his grill this summer because it was half of it did propane and half of it did charcoal.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some of them have burners on the side, like an actual like stovetop burner on the side.
just make
like-
a fire.
Grill technology's come a long way.
Yeah. Some have smokers attached.
Mhm.
Just build a fire.
Just a grill in a way.
Just a grill.
Well, Coach argues that when it all comes together, they'll be grilling anything, chicken, steak, things you find in the yard. But again, Paula pushes back, saying it was a little more than she wanted to spend. But Coach still argues that they got the right grill, even encourages Paula to look at the picture of the family. They seem pretty happy. Well, except the kid. Is he crying? I know Adele caught it. At one point, he's like, when I'm done with this, we're going to have the biggest grill.
He bought it for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot going on with Coach in this grill.
I mean, not even just coaching this grill, coaching this family.
Yeah.
He wants to be the dad. So bad.
He is at this point.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, we're probably going to jump into a next scene anyway, but yeah, let's talk about it. McGurk is doing very fatherly things this episode. It was said in commentary that one of the conceits of the show is that Coach, whether he wants to admit it or not, he needs Brendan. He needs that family.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always finding hey, Paula, I'm in your basement. You know, like he's always finding some way to be there.
Yeah. Which, going back to the first ever episode, it was a date between him and Paula.
Right.
And now here he is doing like dad shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
and
cute.
Paula's conceit to that when he called back to try and get a second date. She's like, "What if we just like bump into each other? Let's not even plan it. We just show up. You know, it just happens."
Mhm.
And it's been happening a lot. He's been making sure it happens a lot.
Oh my God. I didn't put that together. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did he buy a grill that was maybe too big for just Paula and Brendan? Oopsie, I guess I'll have to stay for dinner too.
He loves her.
Oh, did it accidentally take me a week and a half to put this grill together? Oh, I guess I'll just camp out in your backyard.
I mean, did Andrew not call you again, Brendan? Why would he do that?
Where has Andrew been?
He's been MIA.
Yeah.
Blondie had a kid and Andrew dipped.
Disappeared. You know? Classic Andrew.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it later, but like thoughts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, we now see Brendan, Jason, and Melissa watching this all happen from a kitchen window. I will say Alan Foreman told me that he storyboarded this particular scene, and it was a lot of fun to hide the fact that Melissa is wearing makeup until they actually bring it up.
Yeah.
But right now, as it sits in the scene, she's got kind of the bottom half of her face covered up, and Yeah, you can see that there's a little something there, but it's not obvious until she really stands up.
I thought when I was first watching this scene that it was kind of one of those animator tricks where you have to less animation if you don't have to do the mouth.
Right.
So hiding the mouth would be easier, and then the big reveal.
Yeah.
I did see like these little things here, and I was like, oh no, she's either been eating ice cream or she has chicken pox. Those are my two thoughts.
We see Brendan, Jason, Melissa watching all this happen from the kitchen window. Jason asks Brendan, is Coach going to be your dad?
It's been a question since day one.
Brendan says he doesn't think so, but Jason points out that Coach is helping his mom build a grill, and Melissa agrees that's kind of a dad thing to do. Jason goes on to say that he thinks they do look good together in the way that they're both, like, dumpy.
That means something different these days.
It sure does. It sure does. In my notes, I just put dumpy.
What did that mean back then?
I think it like frumpy.
What's that?
Frumpy means like dumpy.
We cracked the case, gang.
Frumpy is like, I don't know, like you're just like rolled out of bed type of situation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I've never heard these terms before.
And dumpy means you got a fucking dumper.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Jason notices that they're both a little thick.
Game recognizes game.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, Coach, he's got a dumpy.
Well, Brendan agrees, saying they both have the biggest collection of sweatpants than any other human that he knows.
And
you
talking about his mom?
I think he's talking about his mom and McGurk.
Ah, okay.
I mean, she got rid of the sweats, though, in like episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Jason continues to say maybe his mom should put in a little extra effort and she'll attract a guy.
See, now that, before the episode started, I was like, my only thing is I want Jason to not be a bit of a dick. And then this is immediately, maybe if you want to get a guy, you need to.
You gotta fucking try harder.
Yeah.
Put some makeup on.
Brendan literally replies, he says, I don't know how to respond to that. And Melissa makes a comment that Paula should wear a little makeup. And that's when Brendan and Jason point out, hey, you're wearing a little makeup yourself, aren't you? And that's when Melissa rises above the window and we have a clear view that she is now wearing quite a bit of makeup. Jason asks if she did it herself, and Melissa claims, yeah, she did it herself in front of a mirror.
I will say.
Sorry.
Oh, what were you going to say?
What Jason says next was the...
To which Jason replies, wow, you had a mirror.
Honestly, the in this first scene when she's wearing makeup, is the blush a little heavy? Yeah, but the lipstick doesn't look bad.
Yeah.
Nah.
And this was before it got worse, so I'd say this was not that bad in the beginning.
Right.
How was it when you first started doing makeup?
I mean, it's a learning curve, guy. Like,
oh yeah.
I remember just like smearing it all over my face. You really got to get to know your own face before you're good at it.
I can't imagine your parents were chill with you wearing makeup.
I actually have a story of my aunt putting makeup on me for the first time when I was 4 years old, and my mom lost her shit.
Oh,
As she should.
She was like, how dare you put makeup on my 4-year-old? And I was like, okay.
Was it aunt makeup? So it was
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just caked on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My friends bring me makeup because I really want to get good at makeup, but and so I have a pack of makeup. Like you've given me makeup, and I sit down to the mirror and I'm like, oh, I'm a clown. Yes, yeah, I'm a clown again. All right,
Clowns are cool.
Clowns are cool, but like with better makeup.
It's like with anything. I mean, it's an art form. You just got to practice. I mean, she's fucking 8 years old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If she was great at makeup out the gate, she'd be the first person ever to do it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's through this entire episode, she is yearning for femininity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Any kind of motherly figure.
Yeah.
I like girl talk.
Yeah. And we'll get there too. And it happened kind of for the first time last episode too, where with the family tree, where it's really hitting home with her kind of lack of female role model in her life. Now, I know Shirley touched on it a bit because she's kind of more of a tomboy than anything, but now we're really kind of digging into, I guess, the consequences of no motherly figure in Melissa's life.
Yeah. And even so, like, not just not having a mom, but also, like, your two best friends are dudes.
Right.
So there's really no, like other female presenting person.
It was very understandable why she was so enthusiastic to go have girl talk with Paula. Yeah.
There's no real support either because they're like, why is she fucking wearing makeup?
They don't get it.
Exactly.
They are roasting her pretty hard because Brendan does say looking good and then asks if there's any left. And Jason, almost finishing the thought, was like, in the world?
Oh my God. What if these two aren't like her like brotherly best friends? Like, oh my God. And then as soon as she leaves, they're like, that looks pretty bad, doesn't it? Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you fucking try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it. Melissa tells them both, stop with the compliments. I'm blushing. And Brendan replies, you would hardly ever be able to know.
Melissa doesn't have a nose.
No.
That's true. She lost it. I think her mom took it.
Oh.
That's what happened. She said, I got your nose, and then took off.
Damn.
Never came back.
Mom left to get me a new nose and never came back.
Milk, pack of smokes, a new nose. All right. Yep. And then as soon as she walks away, Jason's like, it's bad, right? Brendan agrees.
Aww.
So now we're back in the basement, and the entire focus group is telling Brendan, Jason, and Melissa basically that their movie sucks out loud. Melissa asks if they wrote it on the comment card, and essentially none of them did. Walter and Perry drew pictures, and Fenton just wrote, boo.
Boo this man.
Like Marcin said, Fenton does have constructive criticism, I guess. He goes on to say there wasn't enough room on his entire comment card to fit what he wanted to say, so he just summed it up with boo. He tells Brendan he can go through all the issues right now. He starts immediately with saying, character. Wrong. Saying that your character was an empty vessel, and even the vessel part wasn't really working for me. He never understands the character's motivation. He starts things too early. He gets out of things too late. There's no composition. The composition of the frames are not telling the story. And again, Brendan asks him if he wrote any of that down on the comment card, and Fenton claims, no, I just wrote boo.
The thing, it's such good advice. Like, that's such good criticism. Like,
Right.
that is something, like, what does that mean, though, Fenton? What do you mean it's an empty vessel? Explain that further instead of just being a dickhead about it.
Well, I think that's what Brendan wanted, but Fenton says that he would give a comment if he thought that there was anything that could be salvaged.
What an asshole. Like, that is my worst nightmare, is having a Fenton giving me his criticism.
He's staying on brand.
Anytime you get any negative criticism on the internet, assume it's coming from a Fenton Muley type.
Read it in Fenton's voice.
Yes.
Just cinema sins, but it's Fenton.
When they pan to Melissa for the first time in this scene and she has heavy makeup on, jump scare. I think I yelled. I wasn't expecting the makeup to evolve the way it did, I'm so happy that it did.
It cut in between, because we see her and she doesn't have any eyeliner on, and then it cuts to the next scene and she's got a wicked amount of eyeliner on.
And again, the blush is really heavy. The eyeliner and eye makeup is really heavy, but at the same time, it's the best version of this episode. Like, even though it's heavy, it's not terrible, but it gets progressively worse.
Right.
I found out with lipstick a lot later on in life than I should have, is that you're supposed to only do the top and then
then mush them together.
I was just going from just in a circle, just woo.
I don't fuck with lipstick. No.
I like the colors though.
I don't have lips. So I feel like when I put lipstick on, I look like Melissa. I look like I'm trying too hard.
Did your mom take your lips?
My mom doesn't have lips either.
That's why she needed them.
My dad always says that my mom and I have chicken lips.
Aw.
It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying.
I have no lips, killed me.
Fuck.
Fenton tells Brendan that he's going to go home and type something up and asks Brendan if he has a fax, but then has the even better idea about how he can go home and shoot his own movie about how bad Brendan's movie is.
Thus, the nostalgia critic was born.
As he's leaving, Walter says out loud, Fenton has bad breath. Perry tells him to write it down on the comment card, to which Walter replies, I did. I wrote, Perry has nice hair, and Fenton has bad breath.
Perry's bald. Perry doesn't have hair.
Well, not
on his head.
I was going to say his nose hair, but he also doesn't have a nose.
No, unless you count like his upper lip as like a nose-lip hybrid.
Do you count lips as noses?
What if that patch...
Not all the time.
What if that patch between Perry's glasses isn't his glasses, it's just his very little short hair?
He's got like a short fade.
No, because at one point he turns around and there's like, it's a bald back of his head.
Yeah.
I'm just wishful thinking here.
Yeah.
Well, the next scene is Brendan, Jason, and Melissa arguing about how poorly the focus group went. It appears in this scene, Melissa has a little bit more makeup than she did before. Just an observation, Melissa's kind of yelling at Brendan, asking him if that's how he thought the focus group would go, and Brendan confesses he thought the movie would get a little better reception. And Melissa pushes back, saying they probably shouldn't have made the spy movie during a soccer game. Well, they're arguing back and forth until Jason physically gets in between them and yells at them to stop, saying the whole thing is tearing them apart and they can't sit around and argue like this because it gains nothing. Jason then uses Brendan as a ladder to climb to the top of what appears to be a bookcase filled with movies and throws down their movie, Easy Trikers, which is a play on the motorcycle movie Easy Riders.
Didn't know that was a movie.
Yes.
I have a thing I need to say. Because in the well-known and well-received episode Honky Magoo, the dog eats all of the movies.
Yes.
Did they get them fixed?
Yes, maybe. The answer is no, but the animators were like, well, let's put it back.
Yeah.
Actually, that was a dream.
Yeah. And I
would believe the episode Honky Magoo was a dream.
Fever Dream episode. And I would even be like, well, maybe these were the backups. But Brendan specifically was like, those are the backups.
Those are the master copies.
Yeah. That was his nightmare. Yeah, that was his nightmare.
Yeah.
He broke up with his friends.
Yep.
He had a dog he always wanted but couldn't control. The dog got taken away.
Well, we can say that canon, it was a dream. It was a nightmare.
I accept that one.
Okay.
It was a
Do you like the episode more, knowing that it wasn't a dream?
Yes.
Okay.
100 times more.
There it is.
Well, Jason asks them if they remember what it represents. Represents their journey. The beginning, they weren't jaded. They weren't stars.
I mean, up until that point, I did write down Jason is speaking to me. It wasn't about it. It was about the process, about fun.
Yep. Melissa says, we were struggling, but we were happy. Jason goes on to say they had passion and they did it because they loved making films. They loved the process. Melissa tries to climb up to Jason and says that it's okay. And immediately Jason says it's not okay, idiot. Why don't you put on some more makeup? Yeah.
And then that's when I wrote, now he's yelling at me.
Idiot.
Idiot.
He's so hurt. He's such a ball. He's a raw nerve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he says he's not coming down until they get this settled. And Melissa says it is settled to watch the movie. That's when we see the movie. And it's an extremely young Brendan, Jason, and Melissa as bikers. Brendan's character is asking if they think they lost him. And Jason and Melissa agree that they did lose him, but little Brendan pushes back, saying he doesn't think they lost him.
I just want to point out Adele's reaction when the babies came on screen.
So cute. Little baby Jason. I just want to squeeze him. He's so cute.
Let's get into this now. So in commentary, by the time they were doing the commentary for the 4th season, the first 3 seasons had come out on DVD. So they were very quick to be like, yeah, a lot of people ask us if the show will ever come back or if there'll be a revival or whatever. He's like, based on DVD sales, I'm going to say no. But at one point while they were doing the commentary for this episode, they're like, ooh, if we ever brought home movies back, it would have to be a prequel.
Really?
And then they start like spitballing all these ideas where like McGurk is also a child for some reason. Mr. Lindenson's a child. Mr. Lynch is a child.
Oh my God. Tiny Toons, but for home movies.
Movies, babies.
I could accept that. No. Okay, what if there's a reverse?
Where the adults are kids and the kids are
Yeah.
adults. Okay, I could get behind that too. Look how cute little Jason is, little chubby cheeks.
I will say, Jason, this is my favorite version of Jason.
He's so cute.
He's like, nah, man. He's probably leagues more gross, but
Yeah.
Oh, he's shitting right now.
that's on his head.
It does look like a little poop. A little turd.
Well,
I don't like that one.
You don't like turd?
No, I don't.
You shouldn't have told me that.
good thing it's the last episode, 'cause Jason says they should ride, but Brendan pushes back, saying they need to stay and fight, man. We stay and fight, man. Jason approaches him and says, no, man. No, man. Smash cut to credits. I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is the victory song that we hear when Dwayne wins the battling of the bands. The song is literally called Victory.
Wait, this is the song that plays at the end of Pizza Club?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, yeah. When he wins the battling of the bands.
And it plays at the end of this video.
Yes.
So they knew Dwayne when they were little babies.
And
I want to see baby Dwayne.
And baby Dwayne also rocked.
Hell yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
he did.
God, I love Dwayne.
We then cut to Brendan, Jason, and Melissa amazed at how old the movie is. But as Melissa points out, they never finished it. So Brendan claims he sees a finished movie, but Melissa pushes back and says there is no ending. And that's when Jason points out they couldn't agree on an ending. He wanted a throw-up monster to show up.
That sounds like Jason.
Yeah. Especially gross Jason.
Yeah. Little baby Jason.
Yeah. Melissa points out that he always wanted to end the movies back then with a throw-up monster. Melissa says that she has a great idea and that they should finish the movie. Brendan suggests that they come up with their own endings, shoot them, and let the focus group decide.
Horrible idea.
Yeah, why do you want to do that again?
Yeah. Well, Jason said he had his ending RTG, which I'm assuming stands for ready to go, and immediately says, throw up monster. So the following scene, we have Brendan dressed as a biker approaching Coach McGurk, who is chugging a Black Hole brew. Brendan asks Coach how it's going, and Coach says good, he's on his third beer, and that's usually when things start to get a little clearer. Brendan points out it's sure taking him a long time to assemble this grill, and Coach says you can't rush a grill.
I also this whole scene or this whole like thing between Brendan and McGurk about this grill is Brendan projecting onto McGurk how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Just taking it out on this guy.
Yeah.
You know there was a set of instructions that McGurk just didn't fucking look at.
Dude, every time I get like a desk or a table, those instructions are glued to my hip. And I'm just...
I don't trust myself enough to just freeball an assembly.
Yeah, no. But him, nah, he thinks he knows what's going on.
Well, Coach asks Brendan why he's dressed like a geek, and Brendan says he's not dressed like a geek, he's dressed like a biker. So Coach asks why he wants to be a biker, and Brendan tells him he doesn't. It's for a movie. And that's when Coach says, it's never real with you, Brendan.
That hurt me a little bit. Not gonna lie, that line.
Yeah, it feels much more targeted.
Yeah.
What does that mean to McGurk? You're
It's
never
never-
real.
It's never real with you. Well, I mean, because Brendan always wants to be in the fantasy of making movies, and
Yeah.
McGurk's in IRL always.
Is he?
I mean, his own IRL, but still, he has no like creative outlet like Brendan does.
This whole episode is very like shattering. Like it shatters like almost every aspect of it is shattering Brendan's everything,
Yeah.
his whole world. It's a rough one.
But you know what? They did a great job with it.
No, I think it's a fantastic episode.
Yeah, they put a lot of care into this.
I think this is the first time I've felt the way I felt about the finale of season 1, where they're putting a lot of like underlying tones into what the show is actually about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Fat
agree.
her.
Coach goes on to say it'd be nice for once if you really wanted to be a biker instead of just pretending.
Damn.
They can't live in a fantasy world his whole life. And Brendan pushes back and says, well, so far I seem to be doing an okay job.
it's so, like, it's funny, but it's rough.
Yeah.
He's literally being a father and giving him advice, and it's rough.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, Brendan even goes on to say he is doing another movie, but I just don't know how to end it. Saying he's having a lot of trouble just ending it. You have to assume this is kind of the actual Brendan Small writing this episode. Like, how do you end a show like this? This show was simultaneously like very, very goofy and very, very heartfelt. We've had very heavy season finales before.
Mm-hmm.
We've had goofy ass episodes through and through before. So like, where is that balance? And I think all things considered, I think they hit that balance like perfectly.
I think this is probably, maybe this is just recency bias, but I this is like one of the most, out of finales of any TV show, it goes so many different ways. And like, this is the first like one I've seen that's like very poignant, almost like MASH levels of like just being real with you.
Yeah.
And I really didn't expect this ending. It's same feeling I had with season 1, episode 13. Exact same feeling. Did not expect that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to go deep.
Yeah.
And then also, the meta narrative of Brendan Small. Like, how do you end this?
Oh, it's heartbreaking.
It is.
Oh, I just want to give him a hug.
And I mean, like, let's be real. In a show that we've broken down 51 episodes of, what is one of the most common things, Marcin, you specifically, is always like, the ending, what are they doing? Sometimes it's just... So, again, in a show as goofy but heartfelt as home movies, there's so many avenues you can go down with an ending. And I'm sure it was very, very hard to decide, how do we end it?
I mean, I quoted Melissa when she says, like, all of our movies have no ending. And he's like, well, I think this is Brendan Small's even like, well, no, I think this is a finished movie. And she's like, there's no ending. And I was like, yes, Melissa, yes!
Yeah. There are certain like lines and parts of this episode where I wonder how much a character is kind of speaking on behalf of the audience, especially at the end of the focus group when Walter Perry like, we're your audience, you need us.
Yeah.
I love that when you're writing and you can clearly see the writer talking to himself.
Yeah.
And I hate when people hate that. Like, because that is what art is. That is someone like really going through art and trying to just find themselves, trying to figure out. That's what art is there for. So it's the same thing with the first episode of season 4 when they were talking about critics and they're like, oh, everyone's entitled to my opinion. This just because this cartoon is a cartoon doesn't give it the right to act like a cartoon. It's like, okay, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. And again, like just... We won't get into the mindset of critics and criticism, especially internet criticism, but yeah. Well, Brendan, confesses he doesn't know how to end it, and Coach tells him, hey, end it with a grill. Just have a scene where everybody's grilling at the end. Even saying he doesn't think he's ever seen a great grill scene in a movie.
I did.
Which one?
Final Destination 2.
Do they die by a grill?
Nice.
When did that come out?
2000, it's around this time.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know which one of the Fast and Furious movies had a grill scene.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Hank of the Hill. No, that's King of the Hill. Shit, I keep
Got
saying
him.
Hank of the Hill. God damn it. That's the only thing I know. I'm sure that any like dad movie has a grill in it.
Dennis the Menace had a grill scene, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think McGurk is just grill happy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. He's focus grilled.
Gave away the whole episode.
I know, dude. If I would have said that, you guys would have been like, oh, fuck, now we know that. Well, we're back downstairs with the focus group, and we are showing the endings to the first movie. So first they show the ending, which starts with the original movie, and then we cut to the nowadays Brendan, Jason, and Melissa. Melissa is in makeup and suddenly remembers she has a magic wand and waves it to reveal she is actually Princess Pretty.
Her makeup's amazing here.
Yeah. Who did her makeup there?
Yeah.
That's good.
Maybe it was Paula.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, she ends up turning Jason and Brendan into handsome princes who are excellent fighters. Melissa tells them both to be quiet because she can hear her mother's voice calling her through the wind. She goes on to say that her mother has returned to her father And
you think Melissa in real life talks to the wind hoping that it reaches her mom?
Oh,
that is so sad.
I'm sorry.
No, that's so beautiful and sad. Honestly, this whole episode, right? Like, it feels like all of them are growing up. Like, this is an episode, like, it is really showing, like, Melissa wants, like, to be more feminine.
She's wearing makeup.
Yeah. And she's like, my dad is back with my mom and they're bringing me back. Like, she's growing into a person she wants to be, and so is Brandon. And honestly, I think Jason's more of a filmmaker than Brendan is.
Ooh, hot take.
That is a hot
take.
Yeah. This episode, man.
I'm glad you brought that up because I think that's going to definitely kind of tie into some stuff later in the episode. Yeah, we cut to Melissa, who is playing the role of her mother, appears to be a queen, whispering to the wind, "Princess Pretty." And we cut back to Melissa, who says she will fly away to be with her mother and father and shall return for them later. We see a rope attached to Melissa as she is saying she wants to fly away. And we hear Brendan and Jason off screen struggling to pull the rope. When she finally does get pulled up a little, she immediately falls.
Two things. One, animators. I loved the glitter effect.
Yes.
That animation was really good. Something I wouldn't expect from Flash, to be honest. That just want to point that out. And second, I'm very happy that Melissa got to like have her own movie where she gets to like have a little say and it kind of shows her character. That's very nice for me.
Well, and it's also like it shows, hey, they give Melissa the reins and let her do whatever she wants. And she wants to be feminine. She wants to have her mom back in her life and just, you know what I mean? Like that is at the core, like what she truly wants. It's so sad.
Yeah.
It is.
I really wish there was some kind of resolution for Melissa, but if they ever bring the show back.
That's what I'm saying. If we would have had a fifth season, like we really could have dug into.
Yeah.
Like we're really just starting to peel back the layers of Melissa and her lack of a female figure in her life in just like the last 2 episodes of the entire series.
Yeah, but I love Melissa throughout the entire series. Like she has been one of my number ones for a very long time.
All things considered, she is a little badass.
Absolutely.
She's absolutely a little badass.
And she doesn't take shit.
Yep.
Yeah. That was my main worry when we first started this, that like Melissa was just going to be the Hermione of the group. Like, I'm smart and I know everything and I'm the greatest and you're all stinky boys. And she has a lot of like actual human qualities, and just this alone in the last episode showing like that she cares about her mom, she misses. It's a lot. And then also, I know I just said it, but like Jason talking about like why they make film. We love making films. We love acting in films. And then Brendan doesn't know why he's doing it. It's so wild.
I think this is the saddest episode. I think this is sadder than the father episode.
Yeah, I think it's very bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's very bittersweet.
Yeah.
I mean, it just shows how everybody was feeling when they were making the episode, you know?
Yeah.
It's 4 years of their lives.
That's true.
Probably more.
And they absolutely knew that this, season 4 was going to be the last one. They knew it.
Honestly, it is very beautiful. I would not have ever expected that. I would not expected what they're trying to talk about here.
Well, that's the thing. And again, like, because the show is the way it is, like, what are your expectations for a final episode of this show? And I think that they knocked it out of the park. They gave it a little bit of that goofy, but man, when you really start peeling back the layers, this episode is deep and sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of season 4, it was everybody's entitled to my opinion, which was kind of like, it was kind of centered around the audience and like kind of holding a mirror to them. And then this episode is almost saying like, just because the criticism is out there doesn't mean you need to take it to heart or even listen to it to begin with.
That's true. That's really true. It could even be true.
Mm-hmm.
The criticism.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't matter either. That's wow. That's wow.
that's wow.
That's wow.
And you can quote me on that.
I also just before we move on to Jason's one, this is a canon event for filmmakers, is trying to finish their first movie that they made. That hit close to home.
I turned and looked at you when they said that. I was like, that's Doorman.
No. I'm so close, God damn it! I'm approaching! Oh my God.
Well, Fenton's in this clip is just ready to write something down.
Yeah,
He's at the ready.
yeah, I mean, that says something about him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And
Well, we cut back to the focus group. Junior Adelberg says it is official. He has the creeps. Fenton says it doesn't work. No justification for her actions. And Jason asks if there's any more questions, and Perry raises his hand to ask Melissa, who does your makeup? When Melissa informs them that she does it herself, Walter says you should have somebody else do it.
That's Ross. Oh, did you see her face when Ned said it?
Yeah.
And just crumbled.
You give them a little bit of power with wanting their opinion, and then they're just giving it.
Exactly. Oh, he even says, have someone else do your makeup or have someone else be in the movie besides you.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. And then Walter is like, up top. And they're like, boop.
The first thing people want to do is like just tear you down. Like that's what I was talking about. One of the creative corners with the reimagining Icarus. But that's also something me and Nate talked about, because when you have a creative friend, you want to send them your stuff and just have a little bit of criticism. And something he had to tell me was like, hey, when I send you something, tell me something you like about it first.
That's always a good rule of thumb.
Yeah.
If you're gonna give it a criticism, say something that you like.
Yeah.
I think when I was in college and art school, that's usually how they have you do it, so you don't be mean.
Yeah.
I think I was just trying to be helpful. And so it was like, well, you do this, blah, 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 blah. But like that, he really had to be like, that really hurts my feelings when you just like give me all the bad things and not like things you liked about it. And that really made me have to go, okay, that's actually very fair. Very good advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's just, it is tough when it's like two creative types, because that is a knee-jerk reaction, because you want your friends' stuff to succeed. You want it to be as good as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And as a creative type, your knee-jerk reaction is like, ooh, how can we improve this? And it's like, hey man, sometimes you need to be like, hey, this for what it is, fucking fantastic. Maybe if I had some ideas, I would say do this, or this. But yeah, it's really tough not to kind of knee-jerk reaction be like, ooh yeah, let's make this better.
Yeah, exactly.
How I would do it is this.
Well, Jason goes on to introduce his ending, saying it's done by yours truly. And again, we see the beginning of the ending of the first film. And it cuts to Brendan, Jason, and Melissa nowadays, and they all yell, oh no, it's the throw-up monster.
I don't like Jason being gross, and that his first instinct is we're bringing back the throw-up monster. Bringing him back. We're going to just bomb it all over the audience.
He's going back to his roots.
I was going to say, he's come a long way since season 1.
Yeah, he's not picking his butt anymore.
He looks like Jimmy Neutron.
He does, his little hair.
Yeah. They all kind of have like a Kill Bill vibe thing going on.
But then also, he was the only one up there like very proud. He's like, yours truly, like just defending his film. And I really think Jason's a filmmaker.
Oh yeah.
I think Brendan is a filmmaker too, but I think Jason has like found a love for it and a passion for it.
Yeah. I think Brendan was always at the forefront of the filmmaking simply because he was the one with the camera.
Yeah.
I think given enough time, I think Jason would outshine
a little bit.
There's just,
Brendan.
I'm looking at this monster.
Yeah. And he's looking at you.
There's an eyeball looking at me right in his crotch. And then it is armpits, it looks like.
Yeah.
And then his actual eyes are like, where did a 7-year-old get contacts? But there's a hot dog in the throw up.
Yeah, there's a fish. Is that McGurk's fish?
Sammy came back.
Sammy came back.
I would love to see the concept art that Jason originally had for the throw up monster, because that's not what I expected the throw up monster to look like.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys described him very well. He's standing over them throwing up. The second time he throws up, it seemingly comes through the TV, and we pull back to reveal the focus group is wearing 3D glasses. And I like they all lean to one side to like seemingly avoid the vomit. The group gets thrown up on a couple more times. And the last time it shows them, they're all bones.
See, like Jason's doing like filmmaker things, like changing the camera angle, putting bones in there, making acid. He put 3D in there for some reason because he's experimenting with 3D, which is, I don't know how you guys feel about 3D. We'll talk about it later, but it's still.
Well, not just that, he has like a whole credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think that's the one of the things I brought up is, oh my God.
So, a lot going on in the credits. First and foremost, Jason is singing that like Brazilian sunspot song that he sang during the audition for Bye Bye Greaser. It's like, oh, Brendan. We have Melissa also as some kind of throw up monster with Brendan as a horse.
Interesting.
In tow. And then I don't know if you guys know, this is definitely, it even says Planet of the Throw Up Monster. This is a direct ripoff of the ending of Planet of the Apes, where they see
with the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, they see the Statue of Liberty. So pause again. We have dedicated to the mother and father of Jason Panopoulos.
His parents are never around, but he still loves them.
That's right. Dedicates it to him. You can keep going. We'll start getting the credits, I believe. Written, directed, produced by Jason Panopoulos with Brendan Small underneath. And then we can see in the background we have cast, and I believe Jason plays the role. I looked at these
Thunder, Johnny Thunder.
Johnny Thunder, and then I think Brendan plays the role of Johnny Danger. And goddamn, I looked at these earlier, so I swear I was able to see him. But yeah, and then Melissa was like Johnny.
Also Johnny?
Yeah, they were all different versions of Johnny.
Do the monkey.
But the music.
Johnny Gorgeous in Monster Slave Girl.
I see.
Johnny Gorgeous.
What is the
That's
one under?
name.
Yeah, what is the one under Brenda? Is it Johnny whatever and Horse?
And Horse, yeah.
Okay.
Monster Slave Girl. I was going to say Throw Up Monster's wife, who's also a Throw Up Monster.
I thought so too.
But she's a slave.
But the very bottom, right above Brendan's head, right there. I think it's the music or something, but it's Slapstick Barbarian
Records.
So Slapstick Barbarian, when they were doing the Barbarian slapstick.
Then Melissa comes in.
Yeah.
I am blown away by Jason, just the dedicated to his parents and
look how happy he looks right now.
He's so proud.
And it makes sense because when the movie is over and Junior says that was not so great, but definitely better than the princess bullshit.
Aw.
I love that it says Finn ?
Yes. And Fenton is like, that's not a plot twist, it's stupid. Jason tells him save it for the comment card. And the first time we see it, Brendan is patting his back to reassure him.
Yeah.
And then when Fenton keeps going, it shows again, and Brendan is straight up hugging Jason. Jason's sobbing a little bit. Dude, he put so much into it that it's just destroying him to hear this negativity about it.
And let's talk about men comforting other men. Let's do it more.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a wholesome thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Brendan's definitely got to feel what Jason's feeling there, though.
Oh,
yeah, absolutely.
But this is Jason's... is this Jason's first? No, wait. It was the murder Alfred Hitchcock movie that he wrote.
Oh, Psychodelicate.
That's right, yeah. This is the first time he's getting criticism. God, I feel for him. So bad.
Well, and these endings also represent, too, each one of them having their own creative control to do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, Jason is kind of, the leash was taken off and he has free reign to do what he wants. And immediately, Fenton Muley, of all people, are going to tell him that it sucked? Nah, son.
No. Make your own video film.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Jason's going to be a B-movie filmmaker, in the best way that you can, because the way he had gore and effects and...
absolutely. Yeah. Well, Brendan tells Fenton that he should keep his opinions to himself, and Fenton pushes back, saying, what's the point of having a screening? Keep their opinions to themselves just because they don't want to hear criticism. That is bad. That's when Walter chimes up that he has an idea. Maybe at the end, him and Perry can walk up to the camera and dance. And they proceed to do a very Peanuts-inspired dance.
Is that what they call it?
I'm pretty sure if we watched an old episode of Peanuts, and a
Yeah,
couple of the
absolutely.
animators even mentioned that it was like very Peanuts inspired.
yeah.
I think the dance moves that they're doing are dance moves from like Charlie Brown,
Yeah.
like to the T.
Yeah,
I mean, just them raising their heads up and like their giant mouths.
absolutely. Well, that's when Fenton raises his hand to ask Bren where his ending is. Brendan says the screening has been postponed because he is not prepared his ending yet. Fenton pushes back, saying he wants to see it now because the other two endings are fresh in his mind. Brendan confesses he's having a difficult time wrapping it up, and Fenton immediately gets in his face, saying, "What do you mean you're having a difficult time wrapping it up?" Brendan says it's difficult to come up with an ending, and Fenton says, "What do you mean it's difficult to come up with an ending? It's at the end." I love when Fenton's approaching, he's got the 3D glasses on, and we get the one shot of Brendan in like each of they have them in red and green, but you see Brendan in each frame of the glasses.
I wish I did have 3D glasses. I know it wouldn't work, but
Brendan is stammering. Fenton gets more and more in his face.
he's like breathing in and out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the scene ends with Fenton consistently saying, "I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it."
Especially after it being established that his breath stinks, like
Oof.
getting that close.
Yeah. Criminal. Diabolical.
Why do we keep inviting him back? Why? He is bad every single time.
Seat filler.
Boom.
Bring back. Why? Where's Lynch?
Where is
Damn.
Lynch?
What a good question.
I'm missing Lynch and I'm missing Eric in this episode.
Yeah.
Salute to legends.
Yeah.
Well, the following scene, we're in the Smalls' backyard and we see Jason hiding under the part of the grill in the sandbox. We see the rest of the grill, which is obviously put together incorrectly, as Coach tells Paula that this is his quote-unquote first pass.
We don't talk about Jason being under the sandbox.
Yeah, I said he's under part of the grill in the sandbox.
I forget that we didn't touch back on it in the scene though. Like he's just in the sandbox under the grill.
Yeah.
He's been a kid.
I mean, that is also his favorite place, is the sandbox, which is well established now.
Coach tells Paula he understands it looks like a lump of metal, but it will be a grill eventually. And a grill.
And I'll grill.
Paula ensures him that her expectations are low. Paula goes on to ask Coach if he sent Brendan to the liquor store to buy him beer, and Coach seems almost offended and claims he doesn't know what Paula is even talking about. That's when Brendan approaches and gives Coach back his ID and fake mustache, along with his beer money. Coach said this is something that obviously needs to be talked about between Paula and her son, and even walks away saying, "Punish, punish," and then immediately calls for Jason.
I love where he's like, "Here's your ID." He's like, "Oh, you took my ID. Here's your fake mustache." That killed me.
And then I like Coach immediately is like, "Jason."
He doesn't give a fuck about Jason.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
He just wants to get out of the situation.
Oh, that's when Brendan takes the opportunity to talk to Paula about Melissa and her face. So now we're back downstairs, and Brendan is asking Melissa and Jason how the new endings tested. And we see Melissa, who appears to be wearing even more makeup than she was the last time we saw her. Her and Jason go on to explain they got 24 hated it and 0 liked it. Even Jason going on to saying there were 7 death threats.
All from Fenton.
The actual word hate?
The actual word hate? And he's like, yeah, and then the 7 death threats, they said stuff like, "I'll kill you."
I'm realizing that Paula and McGurk being like the parent figure for like, McGurk being like the father figure for Jason, and like Paula and McGurk are also parent figures for both Jason and Melissa, because like Jason's parents are never around.
Right.
Melissa's mom is MIA.
Yeah.
Jason. Mom is Ma.
So I just thought that was interesting that
Yeah.
like they're like a little family.
Yeah.
It's 3 siblings and their parents.
And that just makes the dedicated to mom and dad even more heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Yeah. He wants their acceptance is all.
Yeah.
Wants them to care that he's making movies with his friends.
Who they just learned about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when Paula comes down, this is the first time she sees Melissa with all of her makeup on. So she asks Melissa if she wants to go upstairs and have a little bit of girl talk. Melissa says, sure, can we go right now? And just runs upstairs. Again, just showing kind of Melissa is just really wanting some kind of mother figure in her life. So immediately we have Paula explaining to Melissa that the way she has her makeup on now makes her look kind of like a lunatic.
That is the perfect word for it. When she said that, I was like, there it is.
To put it nicely.
Well, Melissa says, but pretty, right?
But I'm a pretty lunatic.
Well, Paula says, yes, you are beautiful, and you have beautiful features, and you want to bring them out, not cover them up. Well, she goes on to ask Melissa how many containers of blush she used, and Melissa says, 2.
She was like, 2.
Just 2.
Well, Paula says, well, that's an easy mistake to make, but again explains that she's trying to accentuate her features, and that when it comes to lipstick, maybe less is more. At one point, Paula even says, I don't mean to mother you, but Melissa encourages her to go right ahead.
Please.
Well,
I need this.
Paula again says it's not my place, but aren't you a little young to be wearing makeup? Even saying that she can't remember herself if she even wore makeup, saying that she personally thinks makeup is for special occasions like a date or a funeral. But Melissa fires back, yeah, but you don't really date, do you?
The few dates we have seen Paula on, she's not wearing makeup.
Right.
Well, what did she say? She's like, I don't want to dress up for a date. I want to wear an outfit that makes a man buy me.
Yeah.
Want to buy me another outfit.
The kind of outfit that makes a man want to buy you another outfit. Well, Paula says she does go on dates, and Melissa shoots back, hardly.
What?
Paula says she doesn't want to talk about her dating life anymore because she's getting a little sensitive. Melissa explains, hey, it's girl talk. Talk about makeup and dating. It's fun. That's when we see Paula pour herself a drink, saying, yeah, it's sort of fun. So now we're back outside, and Brendan is approaching Coach McGurk as he works on the grill. Brendan asks him what's going on with him in the grill, and immediately Coach says, we love each other. Brendan is claiming that he's not finishing the grill. It's taking an abnormal amount of time, and Coach confesses it typically does not take over a week to build a grill. But he has made some occasional mistakes, and he did have to start over. Brendan thinks that maybe he's making it harder than it should be, and that ultimately it's not really his grill. Even saying he's not trying to hurt his feelings, but Coach pushes back, saying that it is part his grill because he's helping put it together. And he bought it. But Brendan points out, yeah, you bought it with my mom's money, and that ultimately Brendan thinks he's setting himself up for disappointment.
The meta context of this for so many different, like Brendan Small talking about, disappointment in this ending.
Yeah.
But also, like, even McGurk saying, like, well, I worked on it, so I am technically part of it. It's kind of the people who are making the thing with him. It's kind of theirs, too.
Yeah.
Right? So it's...
Damn.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
It's really hitting home, just like, yeah, with my mom's money, the studio's money.
Right.
They're like, don't disappoint the studio, don't disappoint my mom. Like, we're setting yourself up. Like, I know you're part of it, but it's
taking you a lot longer than it typically would. It's like,
the animators all set up tents in the animation room.
Yeah.
I've on like the first 48-hour film competition we did, we were set. We had sleeping bags that we were all in the computer lab on this fucking cold ground.
Ooh.
When you're working on something like that, that's your home. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Damn.
They were all making that grill together.
Yeah.
No instructions.
Yeah.
Right there.
Crumpled under stuff.
At this point in the conversation, Brendan points out, Coach, you are so drunk. And Coach admits, yeah, and tells Brendan, get over here and give us a hug.
Aww.
I love when he points it out. He's like giggling, like, oh, you got me.
Yeah. Coach even says, hey, we love each other, right? You and me and the grill. And
brick wall we built between us.
Well, I love this because this is definitely one of those, like, you can tell these lines start to get improv, because that's when Brendan asks Coach, hey, are you moving into the backyard? And Coach asks, is it because of the tent? And that's when we get a quick shot of Coach's tent that even has a flag with an M on it. Coach asks Brendan if the generator kept him up, and Brendan admits, yeah, it did, now that you mention it.
He never says what he was using the generator for.
He's like, yeah, I had to put some light on and then they just kind of trail off. So Coach claims that the grill will be done today, and they'll be grilling by 6 p.m. When Brendan asks if he's going to keep the tent in the yard, Coach says, well, yeah, if we're grilling at 6, I might as well stay.
He loves them so much, he just won't say it.
I mean, I think he's already said it. He's built the grill.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
how he says it.
I just
And
had
moves in.
yeah, I just had a crazy idea.
What's up?
We're going to play the next 2 scenes.
The next 2 scenes?
Let's go.
Because the next scene is Brendan's ending of their very first movie. And I do want to get his ending because I think there's a lot going on here that we need to kind of break down. And if you don't mind just going a little bit back, I want to hear that we stay and fight, man. We stay and fight.
We stay and fight, man.
No,
We
man.
stay and fight, man.
No, man.
I'm sick of finding myself on the road. It's been taking way too long. These hotels are too expensive, and I'm sick of looking at the map and the road at the same time. I'll get killed if I keep doing that.
I don't want to find myself either. It's more interesting not knowing where I might be.
Maybe we should build a house together out of our bikes and random trash and live in it forever together.
Yeah.
Yes. Not a great house, but our house.
Not really a house, but a pile of trash.
Assembled out of random parts that were not intended to be put together.
But a strong foundation nonetheless, my friends.
Yes, though our windows are spoked and filthy and the door laden with bicycle grease, its foundation be solid.
Solid like our souls.
Stand strong, my friends, for together we may weather fierce things and torrid horrors. Yea, Lord, we fear not your wrath. Be us flawed, and possibly overcompensating for other things, so perhaps too fat,
Hey,
or terribly make-ups,
Hey.
or asthmatic and rat-like. Hey. Regardless, we are strong together.
We are strong together.
we are strong together.
We are strong together.
I just want to point out
Yes.
that, so there's a lot going on in that, but they did I think every friend group must do this. We're like, we should get a commune and build a house and we can all live together. And like, that's what they did.
Yeah.
And I just love that they acknowledge that.
Also, Brendan
Mm-hmm.
took Coach McGurk's advice and put the grill
He
at
did.
the end of his movie.
Oh my God. That's great. Ugh,
He was floundering.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Wait.
I was so upset halfway through. I was like, Dwayne's got to be in this. They're not bringing back Dwayne. And then they did for just a split second. And I appreciate it.
He had wheels for shoulders.
Mhm.
Yeah. So the movies were very like easy trikers or easy riders, but then the end of Brendan's movie gets a little like kind of Mad Max-ish
Yeah.
a little bit. The pullback to reveal Jason's bike is like 10 times bigger than everyone else's.
Yeah.
He's so cool.
I love the line that Brendan, there's got to be like a deeper meaning where he's all like, I'm looking at the map and I'm looking at the road at the same time. I'm going to get myself killed that way. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, life.
I mean, I feel like him talking about this. I'm sick of being on the road,
Mhm.
and I think that's him kind of being like, I'm sick of putting all the effort into doing this,
Mhm.
and like I'm looking at the map, which is me trying to make something or do something in a good way,
Mhm.
but then I'm also not looking at the road, which is my life.
Yep.
Right.
And if I don't, I'm gonna fucking die. It's very heavy. And then everyone talking about like, we'll just like, the grill is home movies. Like that's what they're talking about is, it may not look good, it may be overcompensating for something, but it has a strong foundation with a bunch of grease and everything thrown on top of it. Like that's what it's about. It's got strong foundation, which is the people who made it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they showed McGurk actually reading the instructions.
Yeah, and then he sees it and he's like, oh, and he puts the instructions over his face.
Yep. Well, that scene does end, but it ends with everybody throwing like a bunch of food and stuff at the TV. So this is like the focus group booing and throwing stuff at the TV. Again, we heard that victory music at the end. Dude, I love Brendan's ending. the sunset, Dwayne,
Yeah.
the monologue, the self-aware roast. Like he roasts Jason, then he roasts Melissa, and then he roasts himself.
Yeah.
The pink clouds at night.
Very self-aware.
Didn't you write a poem about?
Yeah,
pink
it was
clouds at night?
during our make and bakes. Gibberish, I can't remember any of it.
No.
But also Dwayne's a bike. I didn't realize it.
Yeah. So, yeah, we pull back and we see Brendan, Jason, and Melissa are hiding under the TV, scared as Fenton tells them it was really bad. He gives it 1. But Junior agrees and says he gives it 2.
Which is worse, 2 or 1?
I think
I would think 2.
I would hate to have either of them.
Yeah. They start complaining and booing. And that's when Brendan asks them, what the hell do they know about anything? Walter tells him not to get mad at them. They're his audience and they need him. So again, I feel like this is commentary of the show talking about the relationship with critics. That's when Brendan says that focus groups have and always will be a stupid idea. Fenton encourages all the other focus groupers to leave because they're not wanted by these bad filmmakers. And Walter and Perry suggest they start a holding hands group. Immediately you hear Fenton say, don't touch my hands. And they start walking hand in hand. Fenton breaks away saying, don't touch me.
Grab his arms.
And he tells Walter and Perry, makeover.
I wish they would have shown the makeover.
Junior claims he's been looking at Fenton this entire focus group and he has to give him a facial scrub. So bad. Walter says his hair needs some serious attention. Perry says he wants to pluck his eyebrows. That shirt that Walter is, when they're trying to talk about giving Fenton the makeover, is supposed to be based off a shirt, Ty Pennington, a shirt that he would wear because he was the host of Extreme Makeover.
Oh,
Move
that bus. Yep. Hell yeah.
Oh, that show would put the families into so much fucking debt.
Yeah.
And I just want to give credit where credit is due. Steve Rogan told me that one, that it was the Ty Pennington shirt.
That's great. I loved that show so much.
Yeah.
They were just so over the top.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted them to come over, bulldoze my house, and like ask me what I want. I want that. I want that.
You want a whole room dedicated to High School Musical?
Yeah,
on this again.
you'll like that well into your adulthood.
Yeah.
So
I'm still here.
Yeah.
All right, gang. Well, the next scene, we have Brendan, Jason, and Melissa watching a montage of all their movies.
So fucking heart-wrenching.
And we're gonna play this scene too, because there's a lot happening here.
I just want to point out real quick is that the makeover that everybody wanted to give Fenton and Fenton didn't want is a very good metaphor for, oh, you don't like criticism on you?
Yeah.
Yep.
You don't want people to come and try to nitpick what you're dealing with?
Get them.
Yeah. And Fenton even freaks out a little, saying, clean up your own backyard.
Ah!
And it's like, dude.
Take your own advice.
Exactly. All right, let's break this one down.
Oh, this is going to hurt again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's okay.
That music.
Yeah, I know, right?
This is gonna sound really weird, guys. I don't think our movies should be watched.
They shouldn't?
No.
Then why are we making them?
I have no idea why we make them. All I know is this. We keep coming here after school every single day, and we just keep doing it. And then, I don't know, and then we just do it, and I guess it feels like we should just be doing it, I guess. I don't know.
Weird. We are... God, we're weird.
What's wrong with us?
I don't know.
We're weirdos.
Guys, upstairs! Grill's ready!
Yay!
Here goes nothing.
That music.
Ah!
Dude, they had Dark Side of the Law from season 1, episode 1. The very first cold open with Adele's hilarious A-cab joke. That's how this podcast started.
A-cab.
It did.
God. I mean, just watching all those clips over and just, it's like, I can't describe it. It makes me emotional because it's like, we are them and they are us.
Yeah. The bittersweet nature of that and the nostalgia, and then showing the clips from the worst animated seasons.
Yeah.
There was something very like warming about seeing that, and them just embracing it, and it's just such a beautiful sentiment about why art is important.
Mhm.
And it's not about the end product. We feel like we have to be doing it, and it fills us with joy.
Mhm.
It is really a genuinely beautiful thing that I never fucking expected this show to even talk about.
Yeah.
Because like we really, in this country, to bring it back,
Mhm.
in this country, we really don't talk about how important art is and why it's important. Because you just get, oh yeah, art, painting, George O'Keeffe, yay! Like that's all you're taught. But there's nothing about like they just show up and they make it and they do it and they feel compelled to do it. And there's a reason why that you do that is because art is important. It's about self-discovery, and I think that that was such a beautiful sentiment that he just laid out right in front of us and tore our hearts out.
God.
I agree. So the next scene, we have Coach McGurk trying to fire up the grill. Specifically, the grill is the Family Grill D9000. He presses the ignition button and nothing happens, and decides to turn up the gas. We very loudly hear the gas pouring out and even see Coach McGurk's hair blowing in the breeze of gas. He asks everyone if they're still there, and Brendan makes a noise that indicate he can very obviously smell the gas. Coach keeps hitting the ignition button a couple more times, and he says, "Get ready to grill," before we see the entire thing blow up.
I thought the credits were going to start rolling right then and there.
Oh yeah,
McGurk just murders an entire family.
The whole thing ends with just them just exploding.
I wouldn't have put it past them.
Yeah, the ultimate save some for me.
Yeah.
And then it just shows them all in heaven as angels over the credits.
Where's Jason?
He can be in heaven. He's in limbo.
He was.
He's how low can you go? How low can you go? He's doing the little dance.
Yeah. Well, friends,
This scene.
it's the final scene. We see Brendan is filming out of a moving car. As that sunset music plays, they hit a bump and Brendan drops his camcorder onto the road. To his horror, his camera gets run over. And as I've learned in an interview, the person running over his camera is storyboard artist Alan Foreman.
Oh, Alan, no.
Alan. It's okay, Alan. He didn't know.
Brendan says, "Oh no," and turns his attention back to the inside of the car.
He was just filming some B-roll, man.
Dude, and that's such that is, everybody does that. The car is driving and then just like, oh yeah, those electrical wires. That looks perfect.
Yeah.
I did that last week.
Don't drop your camera.
Yeah, I don't. I try not to think about it.
Coach McGurk is asking everyone what they want to eat, and you see the look of devastation on Brendan's face.
He's literally got he's got puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, his pupils get big.
It was a gift from his dad.
Exactly.
Oh.
He looks back at the road one more time as everyone argues about what they want to eat. He raises a finger as if he wants to tell somebody what just happened, and Coach asks how everyone feels about tapas. Instead of explaining what happened, Brendan just says, "I could go for tapas." And the conversation continues. We see one last shot of Brendan's camcorder before it slowly dies.
That would have been a great place to put a gnome.
Yeah.
And that is the end of Season 4, Episode 13, Focus Grill, and the end of Home Movies.
Gutted.
I genuinely was so gutted by that. That hurt so bad.
When the episode ended, we were pretty much just sitting in silence for a good 30 seconds there.
It just hurts so bad because it is kind of just grow up.
Yeah.
I
mean, the symbolism of the camera.
Yeah.
The end of an era, the end of a childhood, the end of letting go of the gift that his dad gave him, let him go of this notion that he needs to make movies, letting go of this creativeness that he has with his friends every single day after school, like life and how it just rips shit from you. Ah!
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's very hard to be a writer and to live life is very hard because especially with ADHD, you'll start seeing patterns everywhere and you'll start seeing things that are like signs, like, oh yeah, this is what the universe is telling me to do. And watching this episode, like I've been battling with like growing older and still like, am I still going to be like getting up at 4 a.m. to get all my shit in the car and drive to make a movie? But it makes me happy. Just making the thing is what gives me purpose in life. And watching that was so fucking devastating to just see his camera, the thing he cares about the most, just like get destroyed.
Well, I think it's a sentiment to appreciate what you have while you still have it too.
Right.
You know, and having the ability to make creative projects is, I mean, especially nowadays, is essential. And, I mean, it's just something we all should be doing. I mean, even people who think they don't have a creative bone in your body, you do. You absolutely do.
Even if you want to create something and then just let it sit on a hard drive. You don't have to put it out there. You don't have to put it on the internet.
No.
You can just make it for the sake of making it. Sometimes to just make something, it's like, fuck yeah. I made that.
Especially in this country, the reason that you think you don't have a creative bone in your body is because no one taught you what art was actually about. I didn't know that I was I never thought of myself as an artist or an artistic person until I started Eldritch Journeys or my YouTube channel with Gimmick, and I realized I was like critiquing movies. That was like while making movies, and that taught me how to make movies. And that gave me an outlet to make things and to learn more about myself. Okay, this is a funny story. One of the characters that I created for my YouTube channel as like one of like the characters I got to talk to because I had no one else to talk to was called Rip Off, and he was just me from a different dimension, and he happened to be bisexual. Woo! And my friend Ash, when he found this out for my birthday, we were playing D&D, and he brought me a cake that said, "Why is Rip Off bisexual?" But it's an outlet to just find out things about yourselves that you never would have thought. That's what art is about. That's why it's so important, is just self-discovery
And to bring it back to your comment about art in this country specifically, the reason why art is not at the forefront is because art is the fastest way you can make an impact to the masses. It is the fastest way to get a message across, to really change the mindset of people. And I think in this country, that is a weapon. So get out there, create. It doesn't have to be political. It just has to be something that's from you, because anything that you create is a part of you. It is a part of your soul, and it deserves to be in this world.
Yeah. Very beautifully said.
Yeah. And I mean, just to like put a little period in that, like, I know Barbie was still like part of capitalism and made a bunch of money, and that was the whole design thing. But there is a lot of people who felt seen by that movie, men who understood how patriarchy was like hurting them too because of what it was talking about. And like these little messages can only be told or shown through art, because the only way people can really learn something is by experiencing it themselves. And the best way to experience things is through art, through movies. And
I just got full body chills.
Yeah.
And that the end of this whole show, oh my God, I did not expect that.
Yeah.
I was expecting Linda and McGurk to like fool around
To
again.
smooch.
So I have some things I do want to bring up. Let's first talk about the commentary with Brendan and Lauren. They described home movies and the characters within home movies as just a lot of people who are trying to find their family. And you guys really hit it on the head. The camera, we talked about this with all the father stuff. The camera was a gift from Brendan's dad during a divorce. The camera represented a lot of Brendan's need to control situations, and the camera was his only ability to do that. You have so many characters in this show who are just trying to find their family, and whether that's like literal blood family or whether that's the people around them at the time that are loving and supporting them, they're all just striving for family.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the end of this episode really represents Brendan no longer needing the camera to help control what's going on, but realizing that his family are the people in front of him right now.
Yeah.
I think that's why it was so easy for him to kind of seemingly just move on. You know, McGurk feels like Brendan needs him, but McGurk needs Brendan just as much.
Absolutely.
Paula and McGurk, even if that's something that doesn't pan out to be any kind of relationship in like a dating or whatever way, I think that's going to be a relationship, a friendship that's going to be there for a very long time.
Platonic parents.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And just like McGurk is ready and willing to be that father figure for Brendan, I think Paula is simultaneously ready to help with that role for Melissa as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
So even though there wasn't a real wrap up with Melissa's mom, she still has a mom at the end of the day. Which is
Absolutely.
Paula.
Someone who loves and cares for her.
Mm-hmm. God damn this
Right.
show. It's so-
Right? It really did come, like, even what you were saying with the control of the camera, like, he let go of control, and Girk's like, you want some tapas? And he's like,
You know,
this
I
is,
do. And just that ending it on a nothing conversation with a group to just show like things are gonna get back to normal. He doesn't have his camera anymore, but things are gonna get back to normal. I have a couple more things I want to read. Again, all these episodes are on YouTube, so it's been really cool not only to use the YouTube to break down the episodes, but then to read comments. And comments that were left like a year ago as of recording this in 2025. So one of the comments that somebody had left is, why did it seem like Brendan was kind of like, well, damn, I guess that's the end. He was heartbroken for 1 second and then acted just fine. He could have just got a new camera. Somebody 2 years ago replied to that comment, and I want to give this person credit. Stray Dog Freedom 7795 2 years ago said, I had a different impression on the focus group than the other comments. It seemed to me like what Brendan realized at the end wasn't that his movies were bad as much as they were making the movies as a way of self-expression instead of public consumption. Not in the pretentious kind of way. I just got the feeling from his speech that he was learning the difference between art and product. He treats his films throughout the show like products, with timetables and deadlines and shooting schedules, because he had this idea that they were for other people and he wanted to act like a pro. But at the end of Focus Grill, he learned that he, Melissa, and Jason were working on them together as a way of growing and getting through their issues as a creative outlet. He learned that public validation wasn't what he needed anymore. And of course, the symbolism of the camera breaking does contradict that message a tad. But in universe, I don't think his movies were actually supposed to be considered bad relative to his age level, considering he won the award in season 1. And when he asks adults for their opinion, they're usually lukewarm on them. But I just think that is like kind of such a great point of like the realization to Brendan that who is he doing this for?
Yeah, the comparison of expression versus product fucking hit me right in the fucking face. Like I got teary-eyed at that.
All of us as starving artists, dude, this podcast isn't going to make us money. Like our art is not going to let us quit our jobs. Like there comes a point where you need to realize the thing that pushes you through doing it is because you want to do it. You're doing it for yourself. You're doing it for your outlet. And at the end of the day, if that lands with someone, it's kind of like a little bit of an extra little like, hell yeah. But at the end of the day, you're putting it out there because this is what you feel like you need to do.
Yeah.
And understanding the difference between those two things, I think, is huge. It makes you go from that person that's like, it's got to be done at this time on this day and to realize it'll get done when it gets done. That's art, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it works.
That one claymation that took 30 years to make.
Yeah.
Mad God. Did you watch that?
No, I haven't yet.
Oh, God.
I gotta watch it.
Mad. I have watched this show from the get-go as a filmmaker, and relating to it so heavily, and just all the chips on the table. Like, I had a lot of family issues growing up, and especially when I was out of high school. And at one point, I was just kind of alone, and making films was the only thing I really had. So, like, I related so heavily to Brendan, especially this last fucking episode where they're like, "Oh, we never finished their first movie. We got to do that." It's like, oh my God. I have a literal tattoo that I got that I thought was the end. I got that on the day that I thought was the end of us filming, but like that got thrown all over the place, and I'm still working on it. And the reason I'm working on it isn't because I know it's going to make me money. It's not. I mean, I have no idea how distribution works. Everyone tells me to put it on YouTube, but then other people tell me if you put it on YouTube, you're not going to make fucking money. There's no fucking rules. It's chaos theory out there when it comes to capitalism. Doesn't matter. But making things is just, I honest to God, if we took every other aspect from humans and humanity, we took out the greed that capitalism put there, I think we are here just to create.
The actual meaning of life. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to go on my soapbox.
No, come on.
It's the last episode.
I mean, this country, like, we're just meant to work, you know? And, like, that's really not what we're supposed to be doing here. We're not supposed to be cogs in the machine. We're here to create beautiful things and to connect and to be, you know, growing and expressing, and to just to have our lives boiled down into just working 40 hours a week just to get by. Like, this is not how it's supposed to be. So yeah, I think this show, I feel like going into this podcast and going into this show, I really went into it being like, oh, it's my fiance's favorite show. Obviously, I'm gonna watch it. But I mean, it's so much more than that, and it means so much more to me now than I think I ever expected it to. And going into this, I really didn't think I was going to get emotional at the last episode. And golly, I've teared up quite a few times today.
Yeah. And not just because it's the last episode, because of the meaning behind
absolutely.
Everything, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
This last episode resonates, I think, with us so deeply for so many different reasons. For me, it's the podcast. The podcast ending is such a huge thing for me. And I feel like there is going to be this weird void for a little while where I'm going to feel like I need to be working on the next thing. I need to be creating something else. I need to do something.
Yeah.
And that's why, again, I don't think we're going away forever. Like, we're going to come back in some way, shape, or form. But, like, I'm always going to have silly personal projects that I'm working on.
Yeah.
And whether those go out to the masses or those sit in a folder on a desktop for years and years and years, it's just the fucking urge, man. The urge to create.
And it's there.
Yeah.
It's there. It's like a different hunger. It's like you have to do it. And I used to get into a fight with my brother and my cousin all the time because they would say, like, oh, that's getting in the way of, like, work. And I'm like, if I don't do this, I will die. Like, a part of me will die.
Absolutely.
And I can't express that enough. And to what you were saying about we're not here to just be like worker bees. And it sucks that these things are making it so hard to survive, that things that we need to do, quote unquote, in order to have money and keep going is taking away from the thing that's actually giving us life.
Yeah.
AI should be doing the fucking jobs and humans should be making the fucking art.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And, like, I mean, we've popped off about AI so many times on this show, and you know what? Deserved.
I'll do it again.
Deserved, because to replace the expression of the human soul with AI, which is just kind of like churned out, blended together versions of other people's art. I mean, golly, guys, we got to do better as a human race.
Yeah. There's so much we can go into that, but it just, these people who are trying to make money don't understand art. There's something and I'm sorry to go on a tangent, but it's the last episode.
Yeah.
There is I forget, something Herring, I forget his name, but he had this piece called The Unfinished Project, or The Unfinished Piece, or something like that. And it was something that was designed to be unfinished. And it was about how the AIDS epidemic like took out so many artists and took out so many people, like warranted by the government. And so it's supposed to represent that project that was never finished because no one had a chance to because they died. And some motherfucker was like, oh yeah, I put this through AI. This is what it looks like.
Wow.
This is finished. This is the finished product.
Jesus Christ.
You don't understand.
Yeah.
You don't understand art.
No.
And it's so evident. People who use AI don't understand.
Yeah. Way to not read the room at all, buddy.
Yeah. Way to completely miss the point.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Let me do this. I have some things I'd like to read from people who have worked on the show, who I've reached out to, who wanted to give me kind of things they remember and stuff like that. I'm going to start with storyboard animator Alan Foreman. And I'm just say it right now, Alan's interview will be coming out week after this episode drops. So that's how we traditionally do. We do the final episode, we do the interview, and then we have that episode where we kind of recap the season and the interview and stuff like that. So we'll keep on that pace, I think, for the fourth and final. But Alan Foreman, a future interview guest, said, the most obvious Easter egg is that it is me driving the car that runs over Brendan's camera at the very end. I also had fun with the final image to be seen through the quote-unquote dying camera at the end of the series. I felt it would be a bittersweet way to close the finale. Some other fun nods. We killed the garden gnome with the grill box, Walter and Perry's quote-unquote Peanuts-style dancing, the continued hints at a Coach McGurk / Paula relationship, and the progressively worse makeup on Melissa. I boarded the first instance in the kitchen window. It was a challenge at hiding her for most of the scene. The episode is very wistful.
So good.
Absolutely. I also reached out to Philip Andrews, who said he doesn't have much other than the boards that he did on this episode are on his YouTube page. He said he did the Coach McGurk and Brendan scene where he was building the grill, and the silliest of border talk when Coach McGurk asks Brendan for the wrench that was intended to be literal for the grill, but I added the bit where he uses it to open the beer instead. So
That's very good.
Yeah.
Steve Rogan said it was a tough one to work on because we knew it was the last episode. Alan Foreman storyboarded the last scene where the camera gets run over. He nailed it. Well, he nailed almost every scene he storyboarded and animated. I did a lot of the focus group scenes and helped out my friend and fellow animator with her girl talk scene. I had fun animating Walter and Perry doing the Peanuts dance. The shirt that Perry is holding when he, Walter, and Junior are trying to give Fenton a makeover is based on a typical shirt that Extreme Makeover host Ty Pennington would wear. This is actually a point I wanted to talk about, and I'm glad he did bring it up. He said, in all, we were all kind of disappointed that the music at the very end of the episode didn't just continue into the credits scene. It cut back to the typical whole movie's credit scene. The animators were excited to see what scenes were chosen to be in the final montage when Brendan, Jason, and Melissa were revealing their video films. I was happy to get my shot of Jason as the man in the box in that scene.
I loved Jason as the man in the box.
And you know what? I didn't bring it up, but the music that's playing at the end when his camera gets run over, that is Dwayne and Little Mama's music from the end.
Little Mama
was there.
Oh, she was there in spirit. Ah!
Craig, after we recorded last week with Craig, my brother, as a guest. We were talking and he said, because we watched the show so much, even in the Guitarmageddon episode with Little Mama, when that music comes on, like I very much had to fight, like from telling you guys, like that music gives me a very emotional response because it's the end music of the show. And the fact that it goes from that like wistful guitar-y, like, and then like it's so jarring.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned it in commentary. They didn't like it. Steve Rogan just mentioned that they don't like that it goes from that music to then the regular. That music should have just stayed throughout.
Yeah.
So is there like a full just rip of just the Little Mama Dwayne song?
I believe that is on the
box set? Which, by the way, Craig's box set's really cool.
Yeah.
It was on a CD that came with the box set. I don't think Craig knows where the CD is, but I can get our hands on it.
I can edit that
Yeah, absolutely.
so quickly.
So easily,
Yeah.
as it should be.
Let me just a real quick tangent. In the Battle for the Five Armies, they have the Misty Mountain themes for the dwarf, and they have a battle Misty Mountain theme that they play in the first movie. And in the last movie, they jump out, and then it's just generic battle music. And I have a project on the side where I'm cutting it out and putting Foley together because they need the fucking Misty Mountains. And so I feel the exact same way. We're just jumped into that when it should be just very wistful.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly wanted them to just stay on this scene of the camera dying throughout the credits.
Yeah,
The credits.
that would have been good.
And then the very end is it just finally cutting out.
Yeah.
I really want a gnome just like walking across like Bigfoot.
Oh, that would be
background.
hilarious. So I do have one more
Mhm.
thing I'd like to read. This one is from David San Angelo. He said, okay, I did most of the focus group stuff. It looks like I hid some names in the closing credits of Jason's ending, but it's so small and blurry I can't make heads or tails of it. That was all this stuff
Yeah.
we were able to kind of suss out. So the Walter and Perry dance is obviously Charlie Brown / Christmas. The Road Warrior / Thunderdome is Jason in Brendan's ending. I do remember the very last shot. I wanted to have a gnome in the woods across the street. Just before the camera goes black, it turns and runs off screen. But we didn't do it. Possibly outvoted. I do not recall.
Who outvoted it? I want to go back in time and vote for
Well,
it.
I think it was because they were like, no, we're killing the gnome. The gnome's dead.
Okay, the fake gnome is dead, but they could have had like an actual like mystical gnome.
I think they wanted the symbol of like this, it's dead, like killing childhood. That's kind of what this was.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason it would get outvoted, unless they hate fun.
Well, you can edit in a gnome too, right?
I was thinking that. I was like, yeah, I'll put it in there.
I just love that the animators did have that last idea of like, and then the gnome, and then he'll run off screen like the very last second.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, fuck, guys.
Yeah.
Well, what do we grade Jason this episode?
Before I do that, I just want to read the last note I said, which is bring back tow truck Tina.
Wow. The last note ever.
Wow.
Who am I going to bring? Mr. Lulubibi? Absolutely not.
Mr. Lindenson.
So,
Little mama.
oh, you know what? You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, she was there, kind of, but I wanted I knew in my heart of hearts, I knew Little Mama wasn't going to be in the last episode, but I really wanted her to. So when we were talking about expectations earlier, I was like, I want Linda and I want Little Mama.
I'm okay not seeing Linda.
Well, I wanted Little Mama to fight Stephanie. Like that was my expectation. Okay, so Jason was actually a very significant note that this episode because like although he was being a prick to Melissa, because you know what, that's what he is. Just like McGurk, he's a prick, a dumb prick. But you know, I was so surprised at how much I really related to him, and I saw Jason having a spark of who he is, of like what he wants to be, what he's gonna go after. And trying to be a filmmaker, and how he like put so much effort into it. You can tell how much a filmmaker loves their movie based off of the end credits. I can tell you that for a fucking fact. You can, just because, oh yeah, we'll just put black screen. They don't give a fuck. He put like him shaking and then like another whole background scene that wasn't there in the first place.
Finn?
That means he wants to make another one.
Yeah. Yep. Finn was real.
Yeah.
That's a different thing. Keep it in, but that's a different thing. So, and then also seeing the dedicated to his mom and dad who don't know he makes movies and who definitely don't watch them. And then him receiving criticism and then crying. That's fucking real.
Yeah.
For Doorman one time, me and Adele and Teresa were recording lines, and there's a part where Teresa was recording her lines, and as she was saying them, she was laughing really hard at the lines because she thought they were stupid.
I don't remember that.
That might have been another one where it was just me and Teresa, but she was like, she said the line and she started laughing really hard, and I was like, okay, I'll rewrite that. But seeing Jason being so proud of himself and wanting validation and like talking about it in the earlier is like, who fucking cares? We're making it because we love making movies. That's the process. I like watching through it the first time. I caught a couple bits of that, but then reading through the cast and seeing the dedicated to, and him like, yours truly, and just like him being really.
He's such a sweetie pie.
I wouldn't go that far, but
No, I will.
I
He's a
will.
sweetie
I
pie.
will. Super sweet pie.
I've never had a sweetie pie call me a bitch, but
I have.
But I've been thinking about this the whole episode, because am I doing this for fan service or am I actually
Go with
genuinely
your gut.
caring? I loved watching or experiencing seeing Jason actually be a filmmaker. Like he's like, oh, like he is the sleeper. Oh, I've been a filmmaker. Like I want to be a filmmaker. He's been acting when he was Tony Soprano. Like he's been so S.
I didn't know that was possible. You've never even given an episode an S.
Yeah, I haven't, because I wanted to wait and see all the episodes and see how they go through and what actually stands out as an S tier episode. I already know my S tier episode. I was going to give 3 out. I already know it's definitely exactly one of them. But Jason just like actually meaning something this episode, actually like coming through and showing his character and showing what he actually gives a fuck about, and just being a part of this family. And also it didn't end with Melissa and Jason getting fucking together.
Very true.
I was very happy with that not happening, but I was so blown away by watching Jason like show actual passion and like, oh, I want to make B movies. Oh, like I have this idea. We're throwing bones in there. Whereas Melissa's just like, I'm a fairy princess and you're holding me by a string. And then Brendan's like, I'm by a grill.
So you went from hating Jason,
Stop it.
absolutely hating Jason, to I related to Jason in this moment.
I am reaching to the ceiling for a second envelope I taped that says, Marcin will fall in love with Jason by the end of this show.
Hello, S tier? Who would have predicted this?
Listen, coming into this episode, I was so certain. I was like, oh, he'll probably I'll just like probably an A minus, whatever.
Yeah.
And then he started being like, oh yeah, you're bad fucking makeup. And then I was like, oh yeah, there he fucking is. But then actually just seeing him like be him.
He is unapologetically himself, and that's okay. Sometimes we're dicks.
I agree. And I want to be forgiven for the times I'm
Same.
a dick.
Yeah.
But I just watching him, like, kind of the reveal in my head of like, oh shit, like, no, he's the filmmaker, and Brendan is just using this as a
coping mechanism.
A coping mechanism.
Yeah.
He was the filmmaker all along.
It was a weird experience. I'll say this. And then when I saw that the dedicated to in my mind, I just heard S. And I was like, no.
Listen to the voices in your head.
They talk to me. They understand. But yeah, I'll probably regret that. But yeah.
Like, you understand why, dude, so many of the people I've interviewed who work on this show love Jason and McGurk. Those are like the two characters they love the most.
I feel McGurk peaked for me season 3 finale when he was like talking and he's like discovering more stuff. Like, that's what gets me, is when characters are discovering themselves.
Yeah.
So watching both McGurk discover himself and then Jason not discovering himself, but me discovering that he still hasn't discovered himself.
Yeah.
Jason was the filmmaker all along, and you were Jason all along.
Stop it. Stop that shit. Don't put that evil on me.
What a great final episode. What a place to end it. We're not even giving grades to the episode. Just kidding. I knew it, though. I knew you'd fall in love with Jason, man. He definitely is a character. He grows a lot. I get that he was gross at the beginning, but man, he's a great character.
We were all gross at the beginning.
Yeah. I still am gross sometimes, I'll say it.
Yeah.
When the placenta.
What?
Oh, the very beginning.
That's the very beginning.
Gross. All right, guys. Episode grade. Who wants to go first?
Me.
That is Adele.
I'm okay. I mean, I have to give this an S. I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, the Melissa and her discovery with makeup and like wanting a mother figure is very, very wholesome. And then just the overall just care that they put into this. I almost want to give this an S+, to be honest with you. And I think I will. I'm changing it to an A+, because Dwayne was there. Duh. S+.
Yeah, great Melissa story, and Dwayne was there.
That's all I need.
That's all we need.
That's all I need.
That's all we need, baby.
I'm a simple lady.
My instinct, and remember how we did Coffins and Cradles, where it was like A+, brackets S.
Right.
I feel very similar. I feel like this episode is insanely special.
Mhm.
And just being like a finale, the characters are talking about how do you end something, and then also talking about like art and growing up in childhood and just like being content and like not looking back, looking forward in the car. Like it's beautiful. And I would also put like brackets S+, because I want to wait for the tier, but like I would say like this episode is an A+, brackets S+. I think it's super special.
Yeah, I agree.
100%. And again, I think it's something that like as soon as you guys, like when we got done watching it, you're just like, that's so sad, that's so fucked, that's so, but once we sit down and talk about like, what does this mean? Why is he okay with it? Like what is the overall story behind what has happened here? And I think it's beautiful.
It really was the perfect ending. And when we first finished the episode, I turned to Marcin and I was like, I wish it ended at the explosion. I wish they would have just killed them all off. Too sad. But no, I mean, you couldn't have ended in any other way. It was a great, great ending.
Yeah. And as far as like series endings go, there's a lot of shows that don't get
Absolutely missed the mark.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Let's talk about this real quick too. I have posted on the Home Movies Brendan posting Facebook group. I said, you find a magic lamp and you rub it and you get one more Home Movies. Is it a movie? Is it a season? Where does it start? I would say the vast majority of people are like, no. They ended it how they ended it. And you know what? I think that's how it should have been ended.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's a lot of people with the way this show ended was like, it kind of defeats the purpose to then pick up and say, okay, well now they're whatever. And that's why even jokingly like, oh, it'd have to be a prequel.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of feel like it almost would have to be.
Yeah.
Unless you want to jump ahead to like them in college or making films in like the, late 2010s or, something like that. YouTube channel.
Only because I've seen the episode Clarence. I think they would have to be an adults, and I think it'd be Brendan rediscovering his love for filmmaking.
Yeah.
That would be a good movie. You
Yeah.
know, call me, I'll write it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need a whole series. We just need one.
I always
movie.
thought a Home Movies movie.
Yeah.
Just make it like a night 80 minutes.
that's the title.
The title's Home Movies Movie.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Well, guys, as far as my grade, it would be really insanely fucked up for me throughout this podcast to introduce S's and S pluses and S minuses and be like, I think this is like B plus. Like, obviously, this is an S plus episode to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It's the end. It's the end of an era. For so many reasons, it's the end of Home Movies. It's the end of our Home Movies podcast. It's such a beautiful ending. I think they did a great job.
It really is. I genuinely didn't expect it. I really didn't. When that camera broke, I was like, I'm getting the camera tattoo.
Yes.
It's like so
Hell yeah.
fucking real.
We do want to get little
That
tattoos.
would
I
be
think
so
that'd be adorable.
I really
Yeah.
do too. Man.
It doesn't have to be the same tattoo. It could just be
Right.
like a little, like a camera for you.
Yeah.
I could get a little gnome somewhere.
Yeah, Jason's skull cap.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just get gross Jason stuff.
I'd get baby Jason.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Fat Jason.
He's so cute.
Guys, we did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
I feel like I sound so like sad and defeated, and it is very much a, like, don't be sad that it's over, like be happy that it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that we did this. I love that we made it through, and this isn't even the last episode of the podcast.
Right.
Yeah.
Next week we will be dropping our interview with Alan Foreman. The week after that, we're going to be wrapping up season 4 and talking about that interview. And you know what? I'll say it. I got another interview in my back pocket.
Ooh.
I may have talked to Damon Wong for a very long time. That needs to get edited down.
Yeah.
That was a very, very fun conversation. And I think that interview itself will probably incite another episode where we just talk about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is I don't know. We're doing this on mic. I don't give a shit. This is what I imagined, right?
Mhm.
Because we're going to drop our interview with Alan Foreman next week.
Mhm.
Then we traditionally do an episode where we talk about the season and the interview we do.
Mhm.
For this, it'll have to be 2 interviews because we had our interview with Philip Andrews as well
Mhm.
Right.
and Alan Foreman. I think then we're going to drop the Damon Wong interview. And then I think we're going to do an episode where we talk about the Damon Wong interview and the entire series, just the entire series, the podcast, everything.
And
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more of like what we'll be doing in the future.
By that
Yeah.
time, we might have a better idea.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking is I can put out a generic poll on this episode saying, hey, do you want us to do another rewatch recap, or do you want us to just do like freeform or just Creative Corner? And if people do want us to do another recap, I can do another poll that's like, all right, what are we doing? Is it O'Grady? Is it this? Is it this? I've got some ideas. I definitely know it's not going to be as in-depth of a analytical thing as it was with home movies, not maybe necessarily a scene-by-scene breakdown, but we'll break stuff down.
I mean, the moral oral one that we talked about, we said if we did that again, it would just be more of a conversation based off of what the episode was like
Right.
about, which is very heavy.
Would
but
we redo episode 1?
No.
Okay.
There-
I kept the notes for it just in
Yeah.
case.
Yeah.
And I think we might have touched on this very briefly, but I think the intention was to also, like, after our wedding, have some people over for a Halloween movie night.
Mhm.
And if that turns into like a Halloween episode of rewatching some movies, I would not be opposed.
Can I say what the movie is?
Yeah.
I really want it to be Onyx the Fortuitous. What's the end?
And the Talisman of Souls.
And the Talisman of
100%.
Souls. I don't know.
It could
I
have
could
been.
see reoccurring guests,
Yeah.
Punkin' Nonstop.
Oh, I would
Yes.
love that.
Guest,
Yeah.
guest David, last name redacted.
Oh my God! Could we do like the 3 of us and then Nate and David, and just would that be too chaotic to have 5
think it
people
might-
on a podcast?
I was going to say I would want, I don't know, Nate probably for Onyx,
Yeah.
because I don't know if David knows much, but I know Nate knows a
True.
lot.
Right.
And
True.
I would like to rewatch Dave Made a Maze and
Yeah.
then have David on for that.
You think he's seen it?
I don't
I
know.
could
Have
ask.
you, David?
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 David.
David.
Don't be shy. David.
David, you can tell us. David.
Come tell my jokes are better.
Oh God.
Oh,
It was actually a
guys.
really funny joke.
I actually have something I actually wrote down.
Oh, your essay? Did you really?
No. Go ahead.
So,
This is why you were up so late last night?
mhm. I think this could have done with another edit or two, but yeah, fuck it. Women are like men, but men are not like women. This was said by Coach McGurk in the very first episode of Home Movies, something that could be easily passed off as one of his many problematic comedic lines in the Book of McGurk, but this one carries a glimmer of truth. Women are like men. They're strong, courageous, and many, many other terms that we can boil down into one: sacrificing. These traits are glorified as the key factor to anyone's success, and they have been for centuries, under the idea of the survival of the fittest. If you aren't strong, you won't survive. They call that the law of the jungle, they being any Twitter user defending a stranger's right to assault those deemed weak in the eyes of the jungle. That's how a lot of people view the world, as a dark place filled with death or danger hidden behind every corner, and if you aren't ready for the unknown predators who are planning to destroy you every moment they can, then that's on you. It means you are weak, and you deserve to be at the mercy of those who are more powerful than you. The world isn't nice, it isn't welcoming, and it sure as hell doesn't guarantee safety. At least these are the ideas I was taught as a young man from birth all the way until I was pushed out of my tree, hitting every branch on the way down until I crashed into a pile of excrement from some animal who had needed a lot more fiber to have softened my landing. This world, the jungle, is built on survival, on strength. But the key word there is built. This horribly hard and terrifying world was built, and it was built by powerful, uncreative men who could not see any other way to live than the jungle we had evolved from. Because of that, any other perspective is seen as unnatural, a sin in the eyes of everyone who has already come before and had to learn the ways of the hunt. It would be unfair for the world to change now, after everyone had already sacrificed everything that made them in order to succeed. But success in the jungle is just a chance to fight the next day, and so on until eventually one of the dangers behind the next corner finally gets you, because that's how it goes in the jungle. No one makes it out. Women are like men, not because it is a natural occurrence, but because in this domineering masculine-led world, they have to be. Men are not like women, because we are never exposed to femininity, and if we are, we're actively encouraged to cast it aside while being shamed for merely being in the presence of anything other than the most masculine of ideals. A quote from Bell Hooks: "The wounded child inside many males is a boy who, when he first spoke his truths, was silenced by paternal sadism, by a patriarchal world that did not want him to claim his feelings. The wounded child inside many females is a girl who was taught from early childhood that she must become something other than herself, deny her true feelings in order to attract and please others. When men and women punish each other for truth-telling, we reinforce the notion that lies are better. To be loving, we willingly hear the other's truth, and most important, we affirm the value of truth-telling. Lies may make people feel better, but they do not help them to know love." Growing up, I was always baffled by the fact that women were allowed to wear pants, but I was torn to shreds for the idea of wearing a skirt. It took me a decade and a half before I got to try one on, and let me tell you, the breeze felt very nice. It was a comfort I had never known and would never have known if I followed the law of the jungle. It made me wonder what would happen if success wasn't based on how much we sacrifice or how much of ourselves we numb. What would the jungle look like if we didn't have to worry about what was hidden behind every corner, if we could embrace our feelings as something helpful instead of a hindrance as I was led to believe? What would happen if we didn't let rules made up by traumatized animals who would rather live in a hell they made than in a new world built on things they refuse to understand? What if we acted like the evolved species we are instead of a bunch of screaming children showing off for a parent who isn't even watching? I have a feeling that if we did all that, then the jungle we have been taught to obey would stop feeling like the dangerous playground of predators and prey. Maybe it could be a place where men could be like women, and women could be themselves, and maybe we could feel safe being there. As a man, I am used to the call to keep pushing, to take the hits while ignoring my pain. As a human, I am exhausted by this jungle that I've been told since I was born is the way of the world, but the jungle is finite, and I want out. I want out of this jungle that sat smack dab in the middle of Florida. From episode 1 of Home Movies to the finale today, like a broken clock, Coach McGurk has been right at least twice. Once when he told Brendan, "Of course you're stupid, Brendan. All kids are stupid." And the second was in the very first episode, when John McGurk recognized that the patriarchy is responsible for systematically dividing ourselves based off of the forced gender roles designed and enforced by the powerful to control the narrative and indoctrinate the masses into thinking and repressing our emotions, our community, and our spirit in order to be successful in a cancerous society built in order to keep the few in luxury while the rest of us live in existential dread where we can't trust our neighbors because every single one of us has been othered. But even in a brilliant mind like Coach McGurk can be clouded by the same internal programming already recognized as programming. Someone taught that the jungle is the only way will run screaming and crying right back in from time to time, and it's important that we build a community around ourselves to shake us, hug us, and tell us that we're safe. That part is much easier said than done, and we have to spend a lot of time pushing our egos aside and dismantling the beliefs we have internalized in order to find our way out of the jungle. But once we do, we can spend our days around the dinner table without worry because we know our neighbors, man or woman, have saved some for me.
S+.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
God damn it, Marcin. You know what? It was worth staying up super late for.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, I'm glad someone didn't understand from the first episode and was like, that makes sense. I was like, oh, he's a misogynist.
So good.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was a beautiful ending to a beautiful episode.
Yeah.
Really do. Do we want to know how long it is?
Don't worry about it.
3 hours?
Close.
Yeah.
this might sound a little corny, but I thought this episode would end with a hug.
Aww. How can we record the audio of a hug?
Don't worry about it.
Oh.